Crush Jump.
Hey everybody, welcome to Crush Pizza and Tab. I got to get that right. Crush Pizza and Tab. We're here live in Denver, getting you ready for a Nuggets-Hawks game. Nuggets have lost 4 in a row, and they're trying to get back to their winning ways. And so we're going to be interacting with you guys all throughout the broadcast. We'll also be updating you on Thursday Night Football between the Seahawks and the Packers.
Not going well for the Hawks.
Well, we hope that it doesn't go well for the Hawks in general.
Team or 2 for every team or whatever. Those rainbow skyline jerseys are the best.
They're nice. They're really, really nice. I like them a lot better than their uniforms that they debuted last offseason, which were just the same uniforms with a Western Union logo on them. These are nice. I wish they would wear them more often. I hope they end up wearing them quite a bit, but
they already got it slated out. You can look at the schedule. They have when they're going to wear them and where.
Right. Oh, they already have it.
There's like a printable schedule and everything for you.
Wow. All right, so we already got some people up on the chat. Chris is saying hello. What's up, Chris? Also, Jesse is in on the chat. Hello, LOL. We got just a smiley face from somebody.
That's hard eyes emoji.
Hard
that's
eyes.
Not a smiley face. That's
well, it's a smiling hard eyes.
No, that's somebody who's in love with us.
Well, that's great. Love us, please. I'm in a desperate need for your attention. All right, so you were telling me before the broadcast started. By the way, before I go any further, I have to let everybody know what's going on with somebody wants my opinions on Patrick Mahomes. That's crazy. Why would you want me to talk about Patrick Mahomes on the Nuggets broadcast?
I got Pat Mahomes' opinions.
Seriously, this stuff just follows me around. I don't understand why. All right, so to let everybody know, they have half off their buffalo wings, which we're gonna try at halftime. Yep. We're going to try their buffalo wings. Half off wings tonight at Crush Pizza and Tab here in Denver. And then, of course, they've also got $3 cans. You tried a couple of different ones so far.
Yeah,
You've had an IPA, you had a Pils.
Got an IPA, now I got a Pilsner. I'm living large.
All right, River North Brewery Pils. Did you like that one?
It was good. It tasted like a pretty good IPA. It says it here on the can, bright, golden, glorious.
Very nice.
That's orangey.
Very, very good. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so you can get $3 cans tonight. Every Thursday you get half off wings. Every Thursday you get $3 cans. Also, $5 off the full Sicilian pizza. And for those who are not familiar with what a Sicilian pizza is a square pizza. It's very crunchy. It's very crispy, thin crust, square pizza. It's delicious. We're actually having a hand-tossed pepperoni pizza right now.
Basically what you're saying is if your Thursday nights, if you don't save up all your calories throughout the day to come here and crush a couple cans, eat a half a dozen wings, and kill a Sicilian pizza.
That's right. I'm very impressed with the pepperoni pizza. If you can do pepperoni pizza well, you can do pretty much anything well.
I didn't realize you were such a big cheese guy on your pizza either.
I feel like
the cheese was dripping off. It was clinging to the pizza. And
yes.
You're like, oh, cheese.
It's really good. I want the cheese. I want as much cheese as possible on the pizza.
Yeah, I understand that. I didn't realize you were that much into cheese. But I mean, you do drink orange sodas.
I do. I eat
chicken tenders.
I kind of eat like a child. I'm not gonna lie.
So a lot of cheese is right up your alley.
That's right, man. I love the cheese. Kyle Renfro from Oscar Blues knows how much I love the cheese. I'm guessing that they've got Oscar Blues beer on the menu. I'm not sure. But, I mean, Oscar Blues is pretty much it. They've had a bit of a rough go here recently.
Yeah, and, this is something I talked about when they were still 9-1, was I said, hey, this is a young team that doesn't know how to win yet and doesn't know how to push over the finish line to the playoffs. So they're going to have some bumps and bruises. They're going to have some stretches where they have a couple losing streaks, and we're going to find out about the mental resolve of this team.
Sure.
And I think what we've learned in this losing streak with losses to bad, I don't want to say weak. We don't know their mindsets, but I think that part of their game is still developing.
Yeah.
Obviously, the talent on the court is there. I mean, Jamal Murray's a freak. Nikola Jokic is a freak. Gary Harris, you love to have him putting up 30 minutes a night. But just psychologically as a team, it seems like there's a long way to go, and it seems like that's what's holding them back right now. They're just maybe soft.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But I would also say this, because I think you're right about like the intellectual level of it. They have so much talent. Like the talent I thought the talent was going to be the problem here. We're about getting about ready here for tip-off here. Nuggets, Hawks. And Hawks win the tip-off here. I think you're right about the mental side of it because I think the talent's there, and I did not give them enough credit the last couple of seasons for having the talent. I think they've got it.
That's on you then, because they had 46 wins last year. Any other year except last year, 46 puts you in the playoffs. So they were a good team. They kind of got screwed by the fact that everybody else in the West was above average last year.
Sure. Well, I think that's partially true, but I also think that the notion that they can't, for whatever reason, like piece those talented players together and get them to all work consistently is definitely their biggest issue. Right. I don't know if they have the confidence to make their talent work for them all the time. You saw that in the Lakers game against LeBron James. Like, they seem nervous in those big moments. The crowd starts to swell a little bit. LeBron starts to bow up. They get nervous around those guys.
It's almost like they don't believe that they're at that level yet.
Right.
It's almost like they don't trust themselves yet.
Well, already off to a good start. Nikola Jokic gets the first 2 points of the game. I'm gonna have to update the score all the freaking time in this game.
How do you think this was going to happen?
I didn't think about it.
Just update it timeouts. Update it whistles.
Also, I might do that because I'm lazy.
I'm a man with good ideas.
You are. You got good ideas.
I'm an ideas man.
All right. So currently on the chat, all we're getting is questions about Patrick Mahomes. Ian says opinions on Mahomes, and then Chris says Mahomes likes ketchup on his steak, mac and cheese.
I got a bunch of trolls in my Twitter for the past couple of weeks about Mahomes because I said in 2017 that Pat Mahomes was not as good as Alex Smith. Yeah. And I clapped back at the haters today with the Mahomes steak on his ketchup crap. I don't know what Patrick is doing with that.
I don't either. That seems like a really weird thing. Why would anybody?
He's from Texas.
Nice three-pointer there. Who is that with the three-pointer? Harris. Gary Harris with the three-pointer. Very nice, and we get to our first time out here. So
he's from Texas. He's got to be better than that. But also
7-0 run to start the game.
I'm coming around on the Drew Brees is a deserving MVP candidate over Mahomes.
You're coming around on Drew Brees being better than Patrick Mahomes?
Yes. It was, I believe, Benjamin Albright who floated that idea first.
Well, I mean, coming around on it is an interesting way to put that.
When he first said it, I was like, nah, I think it's still going to Mahomes. And then in the last 10 days or so, I'm coming around more on to it being Brees over Mahomes. What I give Mahomes credit for is the fact that he's doing everything with the exact same players that Alex Smith had, and he's blowing by him.
Well, plus Sammy Watkins. I think that's a big plus that people don't.
Right. And I think what goes against Sammy Watkins is they're paying him $14 million when he's more of like a $7-8 million player. So they think, well, since he's not putting up 800 yards and 10 touchdowns, he's overpaid. And yeah, he's overpaid, but he's still an $8 million wide receiver. So he's still really good, just not as good as his price tag.
So, like, no question, Patrick Mahomes statistically has been really, really good. But I also think that the great advantage of what Andy Reid has been able to do, what Andy Reid's been able to do with him is the fact that he hasn't really had to change up his strategy or scheme or playing style. He's just had to drop back and then throw the ball to the open receiver, which there's pretty much always an open receiver because you've got Tyreek Hill, who's the fastest player in the league. You've got Travis Kelce, who right now is the best tight end in the league. You've got Sammy Watkins as your number 2. You've got Kareem Hunt, who is a top 5 running back in the league. Yeah. And you know, everything is there. You know, everything is there for you to. There's always somebody in that system's always open.
But it was there for Alex Smith too,
and he was the best quarterback in the league for 11 weeks.
He didn't break the Chiefs' touchdown record that was from the '60s.
Well, yeah, but that's because he's Alex Smith.
That's what I'm saying.
So so you have established that Patrick Mahomes is better than Alex Smith.
I've established that Patrick Mahomes is doing more than Alex Smith did in his first year as a starter. And Alex Smith, as you said, was one of the best passers last year, and Mahomes is blowing by him.
Right.
That's where I give Mahomes credit.
With Sammy Watkins in a league where you're no longer allowed to hit the quarterback or play defense on receivers.
Right.
Right.
Mahomes came in at the right time.
The timing of Mahomes' debut, I didn't think the defense in the league was going to be this bad. I thought it would take a step back, but holy crap. It is putrid.
You remember the Super Bowl, though. The Super Bowl was where they broke all those records. Highest scoring, most yards, most passing yards, most completions, all that stuff. We should have known that this was coming.
Sure.
When the Eagles and Patriots couldn't stop each other.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, 2018 is going to be just touchdown after touchdown.
Very, very nice Mason Plumlee there.
Plays Mason Plumlee get a full sleeve tattoo. He was a little white dude from Duke, like nice suburban parents.
So Denver's up 9-0 right now. Things are going well. Things are going well for the Nuggets right now. We have a question on your Nuggets record prediction. What do you think the Nuggets record's going to be this year? I'm going to say they get to 50 wins. I think they're a 50-win team. 50. Straight 50. Up, 5-0. 50.
I say like 52 and 30.
52 and 30.
Yeah, I think
that's a good team.
I think they're 6 games better than they were last year. And I think I see them finishing either 4th or 5th in the conference.
All right, let's take a look at some other things here. Ian says, how do they really determine MVP, though? Is it truly most valuable to the team or just who they view as the best player? It's who they view as the best player.
Yeah, it's who's the best player.
Yeah, I would say right now probably Russell Wilson is MVP or Aaron Rodgers is MVP.
If it's official most valuable player, it's always Rodgers or Wilson.
The thing that I think separates Drew Brees in the MVP race from Patrick Mahomes is that Drew Brees makes his receivers better. And I think that certainly right now for a young and experienced player, the system and the players around him are making Mahomes look really like MVP. I think he would be Rookie of the Year, no question, if he didn't have those around him. But would he be MVP? No. I think he looks like an MVP because of the system, players, coaching around him.
Right, but that's kind of a slight on Sean Payton and Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara. I know that the Saints are only Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram, and Michael Thomas, and then it's just corpses for the rest of them. But Sean Payton's is like Andy Reid.
Yeah, he is.
He's a genius offensive mind. Him and Breeze have been working together for how many years now? 12 years? 13 years? I guess subtract 1 for the Bounty Gate suspension. But
Lance Latito says, ha, ha, ha. Chris says, defense and kicking is at an all-time worst.
Yeah, I like that kicking is bad, though. I like that field goals aren't automatic.
It feels a lot more like college.
Drama.
It feels a lot more like college.
Yeah.
College football. There used to be a difference between NFL Open and College Open. There is no difference anymore. There is College Open is NFL Open at this point.
We're watching Maction is what we're watching every Sunday.
Ian, I think, is trying to troll Denver fans here, saying 24 wins for the Nuggets. They already have 9.
Yeah. Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Gary Harris going to be in a car accident. Like, are they going to lose everybody in a bus?
Do you like these Hawks uniforms with the triangles on them?
No.
It's hard to make red and yellow look good.
That's because it's not yellow; it's neon green.
Well, yeah, but still,
red and yellow is easy to look good.
It makes you look like McDonald's.
No, the Chiefs have some of the best uniforms in football.
Oh God!
Don't tell me the Chiefs' home uniforms aren't some of the best.
No.
Yeah.
No. I don't think the Broncos have good uniforms either. But I don't think the Chiefs have.
The Broncos have bottom 5 uniforms. They look like an arena football team.
No, well, I would say the team,
blue with the stripes on the side, it looks garbage.
The Seahawks look the most like an Arena League football team. But I like the Seahawks uniforms.
I like when the Seahawks put gray into it.
It is 13-0. Denver is just destroying the Hawks.
It's amazing what happens when you play a team trying to lose.
Atlanta is so bad. I thought this would be a little bit of like Revenge of Millsap, Revenge of the Paul.
Oh, we got Plumlee versus Plumlee tonight.
That's right.
I forgot about that.
Plumlee v. Plumlee.
Was it Mason versus Miles?
Spurs will miss the playoffs for the first time since 1997, Chris Bennett says. I agree with that take. I think that's right.
There's too many playoff spots. And the West isn't deep like
it was last year. They're going to be like an 8 seed?
Yeah. If you sneak in, you sneak in. It's kind of like Major League Soccer where Seattle has gone to the playoffs every year they've been in the MLS, but more than half the league makes the playoffs. It's more likely that you make the playoffs than miss the playoffs. I don't see Greg Popovich missing the playoffs, especially when the Mavs and the Suns are in the Western Conference. Like, all he has to do is just be equal with the Utah Jazz.
Ooh, there's another big-time three there from Jokic. Jokic is one of those guys, I just wish he'd do that more. Just take the ball and shoot it. Because he doesn't. So a lot of times he hangs onto the ball. He's a great distributor. There's no question about that. Like his efficiency, he's really crisp with his passes too. He kind of reminds me of Pete Maravich in how he passes sometimes. Because it's just these little, like, he takes the ball and it'll just like a flick of the wrist. It doesn't take much for him to get the ball where it's going.
Right.
And I love that. I think it's fantastic. But I just wish sometimes he would shoot the ball a lot more. Because, like, the other night he had one shot. I think it was had a little bit to do with the suspension, but
it's fine.
Yeah, fine. Pardon. Yeah, excuse me. Fine. Not
Can't
suspension.
say no homo.
You cannot say that. No. In 2018, you cannot say no homo.
He's got to know better. I'm sure in Serbia they say it all the time.
I was about to say, like, it's probably a little bit of a Serbian thing. I don't know how to.
Now who's the racist?
I'm just saying, it's probably a little bit of a
language barrier.
Yeah, cultural difference. Some things are acceptable there that aren't acceptable here.
Right. No, I agree with that. I think that's part of him rounding out his game is learning when to shoot, learning when to pass, not just being exceptional at passing.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James can do it all. And I'm not saying he has to be LeBron James. That's impossible. But just spotting those moments, knowing those moments, having that basketball IQ of, all right, what gives us the highest percentage chance of making a bucket on this possession?
Yeah.
Is it maybe me shooting the ball? And you can't think about it. Like, it has to be intrinsic.
Yeah.
Because if you hesitate and you think about it, you're going to lose the ball.
Right.
That's his next step of his game.
All right, so Ian says, hey, I'm not a troll. I'm a diehard Nuggets fan. I just temper my expectations. 24 wins would be ideal.
Are we talking about the same sport?
Michael Porter Jr. will bring this team to the finals within 5 years.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That is a – you agree that –
I agree with that. Within 5 years. Okay, let's talk about 5 years down the road. KD leaves the Warriors next summer, 2019.
What's up, G?
KD goes to LA for a couple years, Houston or whatever for a couple years, and then he goes to the Knicks. So that takes him out of the Western Conference.
Okay.
LeBron gets older. LeBron's not the same LeBron.
Right.
Warriors aren't the same Warriors without KD and with Draymond getting older and all those guys getting older.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're going to lose more pieces as well.
By the way, I think LeBron might play till he's 40. For a while, I thought he was going to be like one of these young retirees, but I don't know, man. I think he's getting ready to go for like another 6-7 year run with the Lakers.
Play? Like he'll be on contract. Will he be LeBron James?
Yes, I think he will. I think he's gonna be like Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan was still scoring. He was still averaging 20 when he was 38.
There wasn't a single part of Tim Duncan's game that was built on his athleticism. Tim Duncan's game was being taller than you, having quicker feet than you, and being smarter than you.
Yeah.
LeBron James, a lot of his game is built on athleticism.
Well, that's true, but it's also like making the right pass. I don't know how many people have the court vision that he does.
That's what I mean by like play. Like, is he going to be the same LeBron that he is in 2016 versus the
he's
same?
He's not going to be chasing dudes down full court.
That's a different
just
LeBron.
like
That's
pancaking it against the back.
Different LeBron.
Yeah, he's going to have to adjust his game like any older, aged player does. But I don't think he's going to be like Larry Bird and not be able to function because he has a bad back.
Right, well, he's not an old white guy. He won't have back issues.
21-8 here, and the Nuggets seem to be doing whatever. I forgot Jeremy Lin was out with the Hawks. Jeremy Lin.
It's Trae Young and Jeremy Lin.
Yeah, Trae Young and Jeremy Lin. That's the core of the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks were in the playoffs just three seasons ago?
Anything.
Who were, but like, remember when it was the Paul Millsap years where
60% of the league makes the playoffs.
I know it's a lot of teams. It's a lot of teams. Atlanta's not making the playoffs this year, though.
I do remember that. They had that flash in the pan that 1 year.
Yeah, they were like the best. They had the best record in the East. I think they wound up being the 2 seed that year. But they were a high seed.
Yeah, but now they have a ginger on their team. Of course they're terrible. Is that a Make-A-Wish Foundation dream? Who is that?
That's like, I don't know. It's like, what's his name? With Brian Scalabrine with the Celtics. Remember when Scalabrine was their mascot for like 7 years? He was just on the end of the bench for some reason. Like, why is Brian Scalabrine? Why are they still trying to push this Brian Scalabrine rock uphill?
Who is number 3 on the Hawks?
I don't know. You'll have to look that up. You have a phone, don't you? Look it up.
I thought you'd know.
No. You're giving me way too much credit there.
All right.
Oh, good move. Good move.
Man, that's tough.
Very good move. Jokic is having a night.
But this is, I think, we need to temper expectations here. You remember when the Broncos went down to the desert and played Arizona?
Yes.
And they won the game big.
Right.
But they came back still a bad football team?
That's right.
That's what I think we could see this evening.
Speaking of the Cardinals, what did you make of of all teams, the Chiefs kind of struggling a little bit with the Cardinals?
I think Byron Leftwich is great for David Johnson. David Johnson's touches went up like 15% with Byron Leftwich calling plays.
Right.
That's good. I don't think Mahomes and Reed should have had that much trouble with the Cardinals' defense at Arrowhead. It's a little concerning that they did.
Yeah. They threw some really interesting blitzes at him, I thought. That was interesting. Chris says, does Durant end up in L.A. with LeBron? Also, so. Patrick says, what's up, Patrick? What's up, dude? We're here at Crush Pizza+Tap, so come on by. Say what's up.
Kevin Herter. Born in 98, went to Maryland.
Of course he went to Maryland.
Probably from Silver Springs or something. His dad works for the FBI.
Yeah, so do you think Durant ends up with LeBron in Los Angeles? I mean, after the way that whole saga with Draymond Green and Durant went down.
I think we're reading too much into that.
Oh, and I don't think that. I guess what I'm reading into it is not that they can't be teammates. What I'm reading into it is that if Draymond says what everybody else is thinking, and that's why I love Draymond. He's petty as shit, and he says what other people are thinking. And I love people like that. We need more people like that. And Draymond is basically saying, hey, man, you're acting like a bitch. Quit throwing stuff out there like you don't know how to handle free agency. Like, commit to our team. You're on our team right now. Be on our team. And don't get mad at me when I make a mistake, because you make mistakes all the time. That's basically what Draymond's argument was.
Right. I don't see why that's fatal for the Warriors.
I don't know. I don't think it's fatal for the Warriors. I just think it means Kevin Durant came into Golden State, and instead of getting what he wanted, he got, well, your accomplishments don't count because you did it with Golden State.
Right.
And so now
that's
he's pissed off.
NBA sucks like that.
It
Worst
does.
thing about the NBA.
But he really is getting that. I've never seen that with a player before. Before Kevin Durant.
Right.
No, I've never seen people just sort of outright say your title doesn't count.
But what if he goes to LA and wins a couple with LeBron?
But see,
what if he wins 5 in a row?
LeBron, though.
What if he wins 5 in a row? 3 with the Warriors.
Right.
Goes to LA, 2 more with LA. Wins 5 in a row.
Well, I think what happens is the same thing that happened to LeBron, which is when LeBron went to Miami, he was the villain. But then when he went back to Cleveland and won a title, he was a hero. And now he's like, no one questions LeBron anymore. You can have your takes on MJ versus LeBron.
Does KD have to go to the Wizards and win a title?
Mavericks. Go to the Mavericks.
I mean, they might be good in a couple years with Doncic.
Yeah, or the Rockets. He could go to the Rockets. If he wins a title with the Rockets. If he left.
No, if he wins a title with the Rockets, everyone's going to give it to James Harden.
Everybody would give it to James Harden. Actually, half the people would give it to James Harden.
NBA Twitter would give it to Melo. You did it, Melo. You got your ring.
Isn't Melo getting cut? Didn't?
He's getting kicked off the team.
He's getting kicked off the team.
But they're not like waving him. They're just asking him not to come play for them.
They're asking him to leave. Please do not show up to team workouts.
They're not waving him. They just like have asked him not to hang out with them.
I would love that Woj bomb. The Woj bomb of Carmelo Anthony did not show up to team activities today by request. The team requested he not show up. He's not disgruntled. He's not upset about playing time.
His contract is still in effect.
He's not being fined.
They sent a group text and they were like, Melo, we decided.
Please don't show up.
We think it's better if you don't hang out with us anymore.
That's right.
It's a petty high school clique.
Ian says, what would it take to get Durant to Denver? That's a good question. What would that take? It would take everything, wouldn't it?
Getting rid of Nikola Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he want to come play with the same dude that plays his position?
Well, Durant, I think Durant and Jokic would actually play really well together. I think the problem for Durant would be Jamal Murray.
But then you'd have to have Durant, because Durant can play anywhere 2, 3, 4. He can play that small forward,
right?
Even though I don't think he's best as a small forward. I don't see that working well with Jokic.
I'd put him at the 3, I think.
With Jokic at the 5 or the 4?
At the 5.
Then what do you do with Millsap?
Play him at the 4.
I guess
Millsap's a better defender, and he's a better rebounder.
I guess. Yeah, I feel like Jokic and Durant would clash.
Why, though? Because Jokic is complacent. He would very willingly pass the ball to Durant. Who wants it?
Right, but Jokic is that facilitator. He's that engine that the offense works around.
Yep.
And Jamal Murray is the guy who knocks down shots. Gary Harris is the guy who knocks down shots. Paul Millsap puts in some layups.
Sure.
I don't see where Kevin Durant, maybe it is Jamal Murray who's the odd man out.
That's what I'm saying. Jamal Murray, because Jamal Murray right now, Jamal Murray's problem is that he's not a point guard, but he's playing the point guard position. Monte Morris, which is why, by the way, tonight Monte Morris started the game and Jamal Murray came off the bench. Monte Morris, pure point guard. He's like Stockton-esque pure point guard. Passes the ball. I could see him getting 25 assists in a game, something crazy like that from Monte Morris, because he is a very willing passer.
Right.
Doesn't need to shoot the ball. Everybody else on the Nuggets, Jokic is a willing passer. Gary Harris is a very well-balanced player, does pretty much everything well. And then Jamal Murray wants to shoot the ball. He wants to be Kyrie Irving. Actually, I take that back. He wants to be Allen Iverson. That's who Jamal Murray really wants to be.
That was the rookie Ginger who just had that.
What's his name? Hunter?
Herter.
Huerter.
Huerter. Seahawks are just taking the lead. 16-14.
Well, it's going to happen at home.
That stadium is the best stadium I've ever been to.
Best?
The Clink.
I don't like the design of it.
The inside's incredible.
I've never been there, so I can't really speak to
incredible.
What it's like being in it. But watching it on TV, I've never really cared for it.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
All right, looks like had a foul there on. Oh, they're showing their previous play.
That's good team ball.
Well, I think that the Nuggets passing is some of the best in the league. Their ball movement's really good. Their spacing sometimes lacks what it needs. I mean, they're not the Spurs, but
well, you see some people who compare them to the 2012 to 2014 Warriors. There's a lot to be said about that.
2014?
2012 to 2014.
I think they look like they look like the Mark Jackson.
No. If you call
Warriors.
it this year 2012.
Yeah.
2 years from now is 2014. This year's 2012.
This year's 2012?
Remember the 2012 Warriors.
In 2 years,
they could win a title.
They'll be the 2014 Warriors.
They could win a title.
So right now they're the 2012 Warriors.
Yeah. Still a couple years away.
Yeah. I think that they're going to be one of those teams where they upgrade from their Mark Jackson, which is Mike Malone, to a different coach, and then they just ascend. Mark Jackson won 58 games with the Warriors, and they fired him.
Yeah. Who are you going to get, though?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know Steve Kerr was that good. There's Mason Plumlee on his last shot. So I don't know. Who would their Steve I love that.
He's going to be out of the college game anyway.
Kansas fans don't want to talk to you right now. This is their second FBI investigation in, I don't know. It's been a minute, but
when they said that they could use that the NCAA could use the evidence from the FBI trial,
yeah.
All right, string them up, done.
The second that happens, it's just done. I'd put up the score, but the game has not put up the score. It's not. The score's not on television. I don't know what the score is. I don't think the TV knows what the score is. They haven't put the score up in a while.
They don't even have a lower third.
Yeah.
They do have the altitude bug in the top right.
Right. They have the altitude bug.
So you make sure you never forget
know
where
you're watching the game. You don't know anything about the game. You know where you're watching it, though.
I hope the audio works. Yeah, where's the score?
I don't know.
Well, there we got something. We got a graphic. It's Trey Lyles' stats. Important.
Season averages. Trey Lyles. Could have been Donovan Mitchell. If they had Donovan Mitchell, are they the second best team in the West?
Yeah.
I think they're the second best team in the West with Donovan Mitchell.
I think they might be the second best team in the West by the end of the year, regardless.
Jokic is going to have to take a pretty big step forward. But he's going to have to become way more consistent.
This is the year where he does it. If he doesn't do it, he's not ever going to do it.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Like if he doesn't take the step this winter, then he's always going to be this static. This is his ceiling.
Ooh, all right, okay. I'm sorry. We had a bunch of comments here. Sorry, guys, not trying to neglect you. Who gets Rookie of the Year, Trae Young or Luka Doncic? That's a good question.
I like Doncic.
I like Doncic too. Doncic to me, the Mavericks aren't going to be very good this year, but I think if they can keep him healthy, he's going to be what Kristaps Porzingis was supposed to be for the Knicks.
Right. Whereas Porzingis still isn't running after his ACL surgery.
Derek asked, do the Hogs beat Indiana on Sunday? Doubtful.
No.
Doubtful.
Is the Basket Hogs?
Yeah, it says he's talking basketball. The basketball Hogs aren't very good this year. I think they were picked last in the SEC. Or no, not last. I think they were picked 12th in the SEC.
Missouri's going to be bad this year.
Missouri's not going to be great, but their recruiting is pretty good. So
recruiting is good, but once Jonte tore his ACL, season's over.
Yeah, I think Mizzou's in a better place though.
Oh, sure.
With Quanzo Martin.
Finally, we're recruiting St. Louis.
Yeah,
which is the biggest thing.
Well, what's his face before him? I can see.
Anderson?
Kim Anderson was just a disaster.
Frank
I love Frank Haith. Frank Haith, I was actively telling people in Kansas City, Frank Haith is ruining your program right in front of your eyes. Why are you letting this happen? And people got mad at me for saying that.
I remember when that happened. When he got hired, there was the shroud of the NCAA investigations into Miami.
Yes.
When he was hired.
And
I was like, we're going to get boned by this.
Yeah, and I remember he's like, he started bringing in all these transfers, and I'm like, that's not healthy. That's not. He's bringing in guys who are just there to try to get into the league. They're not there to work on their craft the same way that you've been jaded. If you're transferring from a school, you've been jaded. And right. Jaded players, a little bit of damage on them, you're playing with fire. Frank Haith was feeding that program with transfers. He was keeping them good on transfers and not recruiting grassroots, bring somebody up through the program type players. And that just was a really bad omen for that program. And Kim Anderson made it worse, but They seem to rebound because he didn't know how. And I feel bad saying that, but Kim Anderson didn't know how to solve that problem. He did not know what to do.
That makes me feel better about Kim Anderson as a person.
It does.
Because he's a Mizzou grad, and it's like, oh, he doesn't know how to recruit dirty. That's great. He's a Mizzou grad, and he's not a cheater.
That's exactly right.
Wonderful.
Not a cheater. Did things the right way.
Maybe towed the line too much. You could put out some envelopes of cash every once in a while.
He was a big X's and O's.
He was a what would Jesus do?
He is a very much so. That's exactly right.
And if Jesus wouldn't do it, Kim Anderson wouldn't do it.
That's right.
And we won 3 games in the SEC one year. So,
poor Kim Anderson.
He's making money at Pitt State now. He's fine. You don't have to recruit at the D2 level.
You don't. 35-23 is the score. They finally put it up on the screen.
I feel like that tightened up a little bit.
Tightened up a little bit, but still, they've pretty comfortably kept a 12-point margin on the Hawks tonight, which is good. Let's see here. Getting back to some comments here. Guys, we're talking about everything, so shoot your comments at us, whatever it is. Ian says, Brad says, Kevin Durant overrated?
No.
I don't think he's overrated either. He's really, really good. He's petty as shit, but he is
third best basketball player alive right now.
Yeah, and I feel bad because he creates a lot of burner accounts and then argues with teenagers on Twitter, which you shouldn't do. If you're gonna argue with teenagers on Twitter, just do it with your real account, like me. Derek says it's like watching a game in the late '80s. You wait every 2 to 3 minutes to have the score flash on the screen. That's right. Well done, Derek. Chris, my Longhorns played a terrible second half versus Arkansas last week. Yeah, but I mean, I don't expect much from the Longhorns in college basketball this year.
Y'all played a Power 5 school already.
Oh yeah. Huh. It was in some preseason tournament.
If Texas isn't good this year, Shaka Smart's going to get fired.
Yeah, well, Shaka Smart, once again, Shaka went to the wrong program for Shaka. He doesn't need to go to Texas. Texas basketball is an afterthought at Texas. Even though Texas basketball has been pretty good, they're still an afterthought. Everyone in that conference is an afterthought to Kansas. Everyone.
Right.
And they've always been an afterthought.
Half the schools in the Big 12 are in Texas.
Right.
And the biggest thing in Texas is football.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 schools are Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, where the biggest thing is football.
Right. And so, like, when you go to a conference like the ACC, there's 4 or 5 programs in the ACC who are like, yeah, I can go there and I can compete. I can compete for national championships in that school. It's not just Duke and then nothing. And in the Big 12, it's Kansas and then nothing.
Well, like, what?
It's just hard to recruit against that.
Duke hasn't won the ACC since 2012?
Duke hasn't won the ACC since 2012. Yes, and like they get the amazing players. I think if Duke doesn't win the national championship this year, it won't shock me because it seems like anytime we've seen those super teams, one of those, the last Kentucky super team we saw with Karl Anthony Towns, they lost to Wisconsin. So
that was the worst. All those takes about white guy grittiness.
Yeah, that's dumb. I think Duke is hands down the best team in the country right now. Kansas didn't even have to lose their number 1 ranking to Duke.
Yeah.
Usually that doesn't happen, but it's a different battle in the ACC because everybody's good, and no one's intimidated by the top dog.
Right, and there's teams that invest in basketball. You
right.
have Duke who invests. You have Syracuse now. You got Virginia, North Carolina. Pitt, although they suck now since they ran off Jamie Dixon.
Let's see. Ian says, I didn't know anyone who liked Frank Haith, TJ. Who were you talking to?
Yeah, I don't know anybody who liked Frank Haith.
Missouri fans.
I didn't.
The Missouri fans who called my radio show on 810.
That could be the problem. It's Kevin Keatsman's demographic. That's
It's the old people.
golfers and
Yeah. People who know Frank Haith, golf with him, take his money on the golf course.
The people who go to watch him at the Tiger Club and pay a lot of money.
The Tiger Club. God, the Tiger Club. Let's see. Chris says Fort Bliss in El Paso. I don't know that.
It's Fort Bliss.
I don't know. Chris says Oklahoma State in 04 is the last team to win the Big 12 regular season title. Kansas has won it every year since.
We are aware.
Yep. Aware of that. Aware of that.
It's unfortunate. It'll never change.
It can't.
Until Bill Self is indicted.
It might change then. Maybe.
When Bill Self is removed from his position.
But they're just going to go out and get...
Nobody they get is going to be able to replicate what Bill Self has done.
Yeah, I think Bill Self is... I mean, he's not Mike Krzyzewski.
No, but who could they realistically get that will go out there and do what Bill Self has done? There's not a coach out there.
Tom Izzo?
He's not leaving state.
You say that, but...
He's been there for like 20 years.
I know. Michigan State's a great program, and he's done a ton of stuff there. I think they could take Tom Izzo from Michigan State. They could just take him.
Nope.
They got Roy. They had North Carolina do to them what they could do to Michigan State.
Nope.
Hey, you know what they could do?
Yeah, those are done.
Is if things don't go well this season for Boston, and I don't think Boston's kind of struggling. If things don't go well for Boston, they could try to go get Brad Stevens.
If they get Stevens, then I'll kill myself. That's the guy that I could see.
Brad Stevens could do it.
Like keeping the streak alive.
Yeah, Brad Stevens could do it.
Chris said that Texas played Arkansas at Fort Bliss. I've never heard of Fort Bliss.
In El Paso. Okay. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
It lives up to its name.
Well, it's in El Paso, so
maybe it doesn't.
Let's talk about the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl, TJ. That's what G says. They're not. I love your optimism, though. I hope you enjoyed my very positive video. I thought Ezekiel Elliott looked fucking phenomenal against the Eagles.
They have 150 yards on 18
He was
carries.
the second half was just him punching Eagles in the face. And that was, the first half is when he had the hurdle over the dude. His nutsack grazed the top of that dude's helmet. He was unstoppable in the second half of that game. So I gave him a ton of credit for that, G. G was getting on us about being too negative on the Cowboys on Phantom.
The Cowboys suck.
Chris says, Chris, if Shaka gets fired, offer Self a blank check to come to Austin.
Yeah, it's not the job he's leaving for.
Yeah, that's not it.
It's going to be the Bulls.
It's going to have to be an NBA job.
Yeah, but it's going to have to be the right NBA job. He's not leaving for the Pacers.
Right. Or just like Team USA. Was he an assistant?
When?
On Team USA. A few years back. Because I know Greg Popovich was an assistant coach under Mike Krzyzewski for Team USA.
That's one he could do. San Antonio.
Oh, yeah, when Popovich leaves San Antonio for L.A.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good call. He could go to San Antonio.
I don't know if Bill Self did that or not. Somebody said, what do you think about the Broncos drafting Drew Lock? He's a bust? Kind of agree with that. Although I don't know if I just agree with that because I've got like Blaine Gabbert war flashbacks. Where like you could see it when Blaine Gabbert played. And I remember like hearing, oh, he's a top 10 pick. He's a top 15 pick. And I was like, are you watching?
Wasn't Blaine Gabbert's problem the Jags, though?
Yes and no. Blaine Gabbert always had that $15 arm and that 10-cent brain. Like,
that's true.
His decision-making, if he didn't play in that spread offense that Missouri ran at the time, where it was kind of like Baylor, where you make two reads and throw, like it's really simple for you. If he wasn't in that, I don't think he does as well. And then with the Jaguars, like his footwork never progressed. And I think Drew Lock has a lot of the same issues. Like his footwork's not great. He's not very good at reading defenses. If guys aren't open, he completely falls apart. Like anytime he has to play an average defense.
He's got a little bit of Favre in him. There's no question. But I do think Drew Lock's advantage here is that Missouri is not nearly as good as they were when Blaine Gabbert was there. So he's doing all this against these SEC defenses, Alabama and Georgia and teams like that, with really nothing around him. So
Jamon Moore plays for the Packers. Emmanuel Hall is going to get drafted. Albert Okwuegbunam is going to get drafted.
Yeah, that's like three guys.
There's NFL talent around Drew Lock.
Some
bona fide NFL talent. He's doing more than Ryan Finley has. Ryan Finley has one wide receiver who's going to the league.
Right, but look at Georgia.
Yeah, Jake Fromm sucks.
Look at
Terrible.
Alabama.
Tua Tagovailoa, pretty good. Jerry Jeudy, pretty good.
What I'm saying, though, is that on defense, those teams are stacked. They've got 15, 16 players on their defenses that are going to play in the league. So, not one or two or three.
So you're saying it's not a knock against Drew Lock when he performs poorly against SEC defenses?
Not always. I mean, some of it you have to blame him for. There's no question about that. But I don't think that he
looks great against Florida.
He did.
Who at the time had the best offense or the best defense in football behind Alabama and Michigan.
I'm just saying that I think Drew Lock. I'm going to give Drew Lock a legitimate chance to succeed depending on the team he goes to in the NFL. I think he's got a shot.
Yeah.
He's got a better shot than Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah, I think he does. I think that's true. And if he goes to the Dolphins, he's fucked. If he goes to the Broncos, it really depends on who the offensive coordinator is.
It really depends. It depends on a lot. It depends.
If Bruce Arians is the offensive coordinator for the Broncos next year,
yeah,
maybe he's got a chance.
I'll say this. If John Elway drafts Drew Lock, I'm going to pretty much assume Drew Lock's going to be a failure.
Yeah, but
if John Elway likes him, he's not good.
He won't be as bad as Paxton Lynch.
That's hard to do.
Right.
That's really hard to do.
He's going to clear that very low bar.
42-31.
Quit letting the Hawks hang around. Put them away.
I haven't really seen too much. I mean, that move for Jokic, the ball didn't fall there that time, but Jokic has been pulling that move all night so far. Just that quick, back him down, 1-2 step, underneath.
Get that shoulder down.
Yeah.
Get underneath him. Lower your center of gravity.
Oh, they're going to call that goaltending. Good call there.
Ball was off
on
the
rim.
goaltend.
44-31. It's still inside the cylinder though.
Do college basketball and the NBA have different goaltending rules?
Probably. I don't know. The NBA has so many rules. That's one of the things I think it's over officiated. I don't like that about the NBA.
I thought if it was off the rim, you're good.
Apparently not, because that was definitely off the rim.
Yeah, apparently I don't know anything. That's fine. I'll cop to that.
The big problem for the Nuggets, I think, after their 9-1 start was defense. Because they had done such a good job of limiting good offensive teams' ball movement. They were getting turnovers. They were getting offensive rebounds. They were doing a lot of stuff well near the rim. And since then, it's been a lot of miscues. It's been a lot of mistakes. Guys get easy buckets, and they get second chances too. I think that's the other thing, is that they're not rebounding the ball nearly as well as they were early in the season.
I think rebounding has something to do with it, and then I also
good turnover there.
There was a stat that came out after they were like 8-1 or 7-1 or something. And the Nuggets were bottom of the NBA in three-point efficiency, and their opponents were bottom of the NBA in three-point efficiency.
Yeah.
And I said, as soon as both of those things come back to the mean, the Nuggets' offense is going to get better, and the defense is going to get worse.
Yeah. By the way, I actually heard somebody say that the other day, and I kind of agree with it. The thing that will hold the Nuggets back in the postseason is the fact that they don't have a pure three-point shooter, like a really great high-level three-point shooter.
You can fix that. You can fix that with a trade, though. That's an in-season move.
Do they have one right now?
No.
I don't think so either.
I wouldn't worry about that in November, though.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world.
I mean, the basketball season doesn't even start till Christmas.
Sure.
So
sure. Let's see here. Chris says, shouldn't the Bulls stop hiring college coaches? It hasn't worked out.
It hasn't worked out because of Garpax. Their dual front office management system that the Bulls have, not because of Fred Hoiberg's a bad coach.
I always thought Hoiberg was a really good coach.
Definitely in college.
How many people can handle Jimmy Butler? Turns out handling Jimmy Butler is
right.
kind of a difficult thing to do.
It's like trying to handle 10 toddlers at once.
But Hoiberg, Hoiberg, that was always a knock on Hoiberg. He couldn't manage his talent. Who can manage? Derrick Rose and Jimmy Butler.
Right. If you say Greg Popovich was dealing with players just as old as he was.
And he had a problem with Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, there's nothing to manage. Steve Kerr doesn't even do a good job of it. The only person who's good at managing talent is Bill Belichick. And he does it when every time there's a problem, he says bye.
Right.
And
he just
ships
kicks them
you
out.
off to somewhere else.
Except for Tom Brady, who he can't ship off. Because he's tried.
Yeah, tried last year.
He tried to ship him off. And Bob Kraft was like, nope. He's staying here in New England.
Tom Brady's going to get into politics when he retires.
You think so?
I have no idea, but it's just my general thought. He's going to get into politics. He's going to be a congressman, maybe a senator or something. And that's when we learn about his past, where he's sold his soul to Tom Cruise and he's Scientology, Illuminati, all that stuff.
I was thinking it was more along the lines of like George W., where he's going to have some Karl Rove, Dick Cheney-esque, like Darth Vader figure who's like pulling the strings, and he's just the pretty dumb face on the.
That's that Dick Cheney movie that's coming out though.
I saw Russell Crowe as a fat Dick Cheney.
It's not Russell Crowe. It's,
no. Who is it? Who's
Batman?
It's Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. No, Russell Crowe's doing a Roger Ailes. That's who he was. That's the fat guy he was dressed up as.
No thanks. I don't need
You're right, Christian Bale. Christian Bale has made a career out of like rapid, unhealthy weight fluctuation.
Yeah, have you seen The Machinist?
I have. And he looks.
In that movie, they said he ate an apple a day.
God. How could you live like that?
That's not right.
Brady Cape 2032.
About me? I'll be that evil villain pulling the strings. I got it.
Yes.
I like where Derek's going here.
Brady.
Derek's actually one of my Twitter followers, too.
Derek's a good dude.
Yeah, Derek and I, we get along, except when Missouri and Arkansas play.
Right. Well, I went to college with Derek.
I always let him know what Arkansas did on Saturday.
Yeah.
I just send him a text, just say LOL. And he knows what I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, there's not really much to be happy about other than baseball in Arkansas. And baseball doesn't really move the needle.
Is below women's soccer in the college sports level.
Right.
So.
Chris says Texas beat Drew Lock in the Texas Bowl last year.
Nobody watches bowl games. And it wasn't Texas. It was Michael Dixon, who's now the punter for the Seahawks.
Big difference. Ian says, would you rather have Kaepernick or Keenum?
Cap.
Yes, easily. Kaepernick.
I don't think Kaepernick's like a great NFL quarterback. I just think he can do more. And in the right system with the right coach, his ceiling is higher than Case Keenum's.
I was listening to Dan Levitard the other day, and they were talking about Nathan Peterman, who's the Nathan Peterman era is over.
I feel bad for Nathan Peterman.
They kept throwing him out there to the Wolves, and he didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do. He's like, I'm doing what you told me to pass the ball.
You know when your post-game press conferences are like, my identity is secure as a child of Christ. You know that someone has had a bad day.
My identity is secure as a child of Christ.
Like, if that's your answer to questions, like imagine if like Barack Obama came out, it's just a bad fucking day. We get into a couple wars, the deficit's expanded. He's like,
right,
I fucked this up, but my identity is secure.
Right.
Child of Christ. It's a bad look. Something went wrong.
I like how you had to go back to Barack Obama because you know Donald Trump's never going to do
I
that.
thought about it. And I was
You're like,
well,
Trump's never going to.
Taking personal responsibility.
That's never going to happen. Would you rather fight Tyson in his prime or Deontay Wilder?
I don't know who Deontay Wilder is.
I don't either. G, could you give us a little bit of backstory on Deontay Wilder? Chris says, hey, it was Texas' first bowl game since 2014. When they played Arkansas and got destroyed.
Borderline erotic?
That was borderline erotic. That's right. Borderline erotic.
Kneeling down inside the 5.
Because they had limited Texas' offense to 56 yards for the whole game.
I thought the borderline erotic comment was like talking about the kneel down inside the 5. I thought that's when he said, "Oh, that was borderline."
Oh
erotic.
yeah. No, yeah, that's right. Yes, I was just adding in that they had limited Texas to 56 yards of offense.
Who was the quarterback for Texas that year?
I don't know, some guy.
A program that should never not have a quarterback is Texas. And Mac Brown recruited everybody as a safety for like a decade.
You know, the thing about Texas quarterbacks, though, is that they never really do anything in the pros.
Who cares? Colt McCoy won a national title.
Colt McCoy won a national title. Vince Young won a national title.
Colt McCoy didn't win one.
No, he got to a national title in 2009, and then they lost to the Crimson Tide. Tyrone Swoops. That was their quarterback in 2014. Tyrone Swoops.
He's the one who scored against Notre Dame.
He was.
Was it Joe Tessitore who said, "Texas is back"?
Yes. Joe Tessitore, by the way, I'm pretty sure he wants to marry Jason Witten. I think he has a trapper keeper in his locker.
No. Joe Tessitore is the consummate pro. It's a play-by-play experience here. Joe Tessitore is just being a good teammate. He could sit there and shit all over Jason Witten.
Yeah.
But that would be rude.
I just don't want him calling Cowboys games anymore because that was just egregious. It was like, I'm pretty sure Joe Tessitore was giving Witten a handy. If he was not actually giving him a handy, it was a metaphorical handy for 3.5 hours.
I think I would.
Tantric sting sex. Tantric sting handy from Joe Tessitore.
I think you've gone a different direction with this. And you're yelling out different things in a public place that I just not going to comment on. I have nothing to add to that.
There are people around us.
They've looked over a couple times.
All right. Let's see. It's almost halftime. Wings. Yes, wings.
Wings?
Ranch dressing?
What flavors wings you got?
Just like the regular buffalo. Yeah, standard, traditional. What's that? Oh, no, one order. Yeah. We'll split them up, that's right.
Sam Ehlinger is the most underrated quarterback in college football because Texas has a horrible defense. That's wrong.
Marcel Darius took McCoy's shoulder off in that national championship game in 2009. That's true. He could not throw. There were stories of him.
He couldn't feel his arm, right?
Right. There were stories of him playing catch with his dad with a limp arm, crying in the tunnel of the Rose Bowl.
I can't do it, Daddy. I can't do it.
with his molestache that Colt McCoy has.
Colt McCoy's still making money in the league, though, right?
Yeah, I think he's a Redskin.
He's still Chase Danieling it.
Yeah, he is Alex Smith's backup.
He may see action this year, then.
Colt McCoy? Well, I don't know. See, that's the thing. I told everybody the Redskins were going to make the playoffs, and no one believed me before the season started.
Yeah, that's because that would have been a stupid thing to say before the season started.
I said I thought they would
say it because you knew anything.
I thought, well, here's what I thought. I thought Alex Smith is a pretty solid professional who is going to give that offense some semblance of structure. And Adrian Peterson's going to be good enough for 12 and a half weeks or whatever for them to put together a pretty nice base of wins. What happens from here on out is basically 500 football. But the rest of the NFC East is trash. The Giants are trash. The Cowboys, sorry Chris, the Cowboys are trash. And then the Eagles are Super Bowl hangover. They're not going to do anything.
The Eagles are a winning streak away from being like, "Oh yeah, we're really good." Like they got to play the Giants a couple more times.
Yeah.
They got to
Carson Wentz is still recovering from the surgery though.
Yeah, they rushed him back. Tell you, doesn't look right.
They did. They did rush him back. They shouldn't have done that. Let's see here. Go to YouTube and look at Wilder's knockouts. I think all his victories are KOs and undefeated. Well, I think you answered your own question there.
I don't want to fight the guy who
I don't want to fight that guy.
Victories are KOs.
Chris says Colt is the second highest paid backup only to Nick Foles. I'm actually surprised Nick Foles is the highest paid backup. I thought it would have been Chase Daniel.
I think Chase Daniel's on like 2.5, 3.
He's made more money for doing less than anyone in NFL history.
He's made more money for doing less than anybody in history. Except like babies who are born into generational wealth.
I feel so bad saying that because I like Chase Daniel a lot. He and I would have pretty good conversations in the locker room when I covered the Chiefs because nobody else would ever care to talk to Chase Daniel.
Which is weird because he's a pretty interesting guy. He's got his own business.
Yeah. The only time he ever got sideways, he and I got sideways, was when I suggested that he was going to be a coach after his playing career because he's like, what are you talking about? I still have like 8 years left in my career. I'm like, I'm not saying that you're not going to play a long time, Chase. Just
he thought you meant he's going to go be the quality control coach
right. No,
for Missouri,
I think he's going
to.
I think he's going to be an offensive coordinator, head coach type guy after his playing days are over. Like I meant it as a compliment.
We got Derek Dooley forever.
Derek Dooley.
He's been fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, his play calling is fine. I'm pleased with Derek Dooley, the offensive coordinator.
Derek Dooley, the offensive coordinator, way better than Derek Dooley, the head coach.
That's just how some people are. Head coach is a different beast.
It is.
It's like Wade Phillips.
But see, Wade Phillips was a pretty decent head coach. Cowboys fans just got too uppity. They thought that they were better than Wade Phillips.
Which is like, it's so weird that they're so fine with Jason Garrett.
They're not fine with him. Jerry Jones is fine with him.
But there's no like uproar over it.
I mean, there is an uproar.
There's not. They're very silent.
Well, we've got some Cowboys fans on the feed right now. Cowboys fans, is there an uproar over Jason Garrett? Are we at halftime now? I think we're at halftime.
Yeah, that's why they're in the
What's
studio.
the score? I haven't even updated the score.
You're going to get it. It's going to come up. 73-57.
73-57. That is
73
it's been a really good. We basically just spent the whole time talking about football.
That's because we're from Arkansas.
Also, it's before
Kansas.
Christmas, and other stuff's going on.
Avs won last night, 6-3.
Let's see here. Vegas always knows. Thought Warriors plus 4.5 was free money. Rockets about to be up 20.
2.5.
2.5. Wow, 2.5. Warriors plus 2.5.
Is it in Houston? It must be in Houston.
Let's see here. Chris says Ari wants Lincoln Riley as head coach for Dallas.
Ari wants a lot of things. That would be a good move, though, I think.
Lincoln Riley is, 36, 37?
He's a youngster.
And you want him to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys?
How can it be worse than Jason Garrett?
Also, he hasn't coached defense. I guess that's not really important anymore in the NFL.
Right.
So maybe that's a good move.
The first NFL team that goes full college football. You know, there's those jokes on Twitter about full communism.
No, I don't.
Okay, well, there's
are
memes
those jokes
on Twitter
on there?
about
Okay.
full communism. People are like ultra Soviet. They want the gulags, the famine, the death, all that stuff.
People want that?
Yes, they love Stalin. Like it's a real thing. The first NFL team that goes full college football is going to win a Super Bowl within 3 years. Just because defense doesn't matter.
I would say that the Chiefs look like
but even then they don't run enough no huddle. They huddle too much.
they huddle too much. They play no defense.
They go no huddle 1% of the time.
They're averaging 8 yards a play.
6.5.
They don't run the ball, even though they have a great running back. They get a ton of penalties.
Why would they run the ball when they have a great running back? You got to save him for January when you won't use him then.
No, you know what's going to happen. They're going to lose to the Titans in the playoffs. No. They are. Mike Vrabel is learning.
You talk about it like he's a machine AI.
He is adapting to his environment.
Constantly indexing and gathering information.
Mike Vrabel I'm pretty sure Mike Vrabel forgot what football was when he first started, and then now, like, he's figured out some stuff.
The win over the Patriots has given him so many data points.
He's right. He has adapted and adjusted. He was just a dumb linebacker for forever, and now all of a sudden, he's had to learn. He's adjusted. He understands you can't go all in and gamble relentlessly.
He's adjusted, and they still don't have a real offensive game plan.
No, they don't.
That's not gonna beat. It's not gonna win them a playoff game.
I will say though, Derrick Henry and that whole.
I love Deion Lewis. Big Deion Lewis fan.
Like their running game is not bad. It's not bad, and those are the kind of teams that make it to the NFC Championship game or AFC Championship game and then lose, but they make it that far. We've seen the Jets do it.
They're the team that loses 38-17 to the Patriots in January.
That's right. They are the team that makes it to the AFC Championship game and then gets destroyed by the Patriots.
So it's how it sets up for New England every year, where they have this crap team that's like a mole almost. That just goes in there and just gnaws at the other good teams in the AFC.
Yep.
The Jags, they beat the Steelers. So then the Patriots, what do? They beat the Jags. A little closer than comfortable, but whatever. Titans beat the Chiefs that one year. All right, they're gone. Yeah.
It was the Jags last year. A couple of years ago, it was the Jets. Remember Jets with Rex Ryan? Mark Sanchez played in 2 AFC Championship games. People forget that.
Mark Sanchez is the reason that Peyton Manning has a Super Bowl ring before the Broncos.
That's right. Yeah.
That's why.
That's right, because the Colts. No. They lost that Super Bowl. They lost that Super Bowl to the Saints. They won the Super Bowl in 2004, was it? Against the Bears.
Was it that far? Was it that long?
Maybe it wasn't 2004. No. 06, maybe 07.
The Steelers 2 are in there somewhere.
The Steelers beat the Cardinals. And then lost to the Packers.
2001 is Patriots. 2003, 2004 is Patriots. 2005 is...
Steelers Seahawks? Maybe?
Yeah, that's what that was.
That was Steelers Seahawks. That was Jerome Bettis. That was
Jerome Bettis' final game.
Yeah. Mike Tomlin's first Super Bowl.
In Detroit. No, it was still Bill Cowher.
That was Cowher's?
Mike Tomlin only has one.
That's right. That was Cowher's.
I don't know who 106.
Ah, sweet. Wings.
Wonderful.
Thank you, sir. Is there some ranch dressing with that? Oh, very good. Eagles fan. So this is the standard. This is standard buffalo sauce. That does not look like buffalo sauce to me.
Looks a little teriyaki-ish.
It looks a little teriyaki-ish. I'm going to let you grab the first one.
Why are you such a pussy?
No, I'm just going to let. I was trying to be nice.
You weren't being polite. You're doing it because you don't know what it is.
I'm going to read some comments. Yeah, 2005 Steelers and 08. Okay, so 2006 was the Colts. 2006 was when they.
Who did the Colts beat?
They beat the Bears.
No. In the AFC Championship game in 2006. Chris and Derek, they're Googling it right now.
That was Bob Sanders was on that defense. That was that also the Jets? That was not the Jets.
I just have no memory of 2006.
Yeah, 2006, Rex Grossman in the rain in Miami. I remember that.
I remember that. Yeah. That Super Bowl was
awful.
So boring.
It's terrible. It was one of the worst Super Bowls I've ever seen. And I think in that game, Peyton Manning threw a pick six in that game. And because I remember that he threw a pick six against the Saints, and I remember thinking, man, he just can't in big games.
Did they really give up a pick six and a kick return? Because didn't Devin Hester have a kick or punt return in that game?
In the Super Bowl? Maybe he did. I don't think he did. Maybe he didn't. Derek says, they beat the Patriots. They beat the Patriots in 2006. That would have been that little window between when Ty Law and what's his face, Teddy Bruschi, and all those guys. Vrabel. But Vrabel was with the Chiefs at that point, wasn't he?
Not that soon.
It was later. I think Vrabel was still with the Patriots at that point. But their defense wasn't that elite defense that won them the Super Bowls against the Panthers and all those people. Hester took the opening kickback in the Super Bowl. Devin Hester, man. That, you know who was the special teams coordinator for that Bears team that went to the Super Bowl? Dave Toe. That's a man who knows my talking points really, really well. He knows exactly where I'm going.
Dave Tobe is the next head coach in the NFL.
I have been saying that the next team that hires Dave Tobe as their head coach it'll be the coaching hire of the century. I've been saying that for 4 years. Houston is up 60-47. 13. Up 13 right now.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, cool. I'm going to have to try some of these wings here. As soon as you can talk again, we'll switch off. Let's see here. That Colts-Pats AFC Championship game was epic. That's what Chris said.
I feel like I disagree there.
That's because you're a Patriots fan. Yeah. Let's see here. Sorry, taking a look here at a very long text message I just got from somebody. Let's see here. Some other stuff around the league. Because we saw that the Golden State Warriors are losing right now to the Rockets. I feel like this is one of those. Thank you. I feel like this is one of those instances in which, like, we're still so early in the season, the scores are kind of irrelevant. If the Warriors struggle before Christmas, it doesn't count as struggling. And I think that's kind of what's unfortunate for Nuggets fans is that if the Nuggets are good before Christmas, it doesn't count. Yeah. And like we both think that they're going to be good. He said 52 wins. I said 50 wins. That's playoff. That's playoff material. I think they're going to be the 4 or the 5 seed. I think that's the pretty trendy pick for them. Is they're either the 4 hosting LA, or they're the 5 going to LA. Yeah. And based off of the way that they played against LA at the beginning of the season, they're going to have to stop being awestruck by LeBron James.
That's hard to do.
It is. There are stories of young athletes being starstruck by Kobe Bryant, and I never heard any stories about MJ. I'm sure there were. It was just a different time, different era.
Iverson has one.
About Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan called him a bitch the first time. It fucked up Allen Iverson's whole night.
It messed him up. MJ called him a bitch.
And then the next time they played was when Iverson crossed him over.
Was that when he was with the Wizards? It had to have been when he was with the Wizards.
Still Bulls.
It's still the Bulls? That had to have been 90, 98, 97?
Iverson was in the league.
Man.
This was early in Iverson's career.
Because Iverson won MVP in, 99? Is that 99 he won MVP?
That I don't know.
Man. Because I remember seeing Kobe guard MJ when he was with the Wizards. And I think it was his rookie season. It was Kobe's rookie season. No, I mean these stories where they're awestruck and they're like asking the dude for their autograph.
Right.
Kobe has had players who are rookies come up to him and ask him for his autograph. Like, hey, I grew up watching you play. You're like, I'm still in the league. How are you in the league? And he's like, oh, right. I'm twice your age. You're 17. I'm 38.
I got a good Colorado Rapids story. You know where Zlatan Ibrahimovic is from? He's from...
Zlatan?
Yeah.
He's from Sweden.
We have a couple Swedish players on our team. And after we played the Galaxy, we're in LA. We're in the StubHub Center in Los Angeles. And It's after the game. The bus is like totally full except for the 2 Swedish guys and our communications director, who
This is smoky, by the way. It's nice.
it's a little smoky. We are trying to get the heck out of there, go back to the hotel.
Half off wings, by the way, guys. Every Thursday.
At the
Crush Pizza and Tap.
Crush Pizza and Tap. We're trying to leave. We got a good result. It was 2-2. It was fine for us on the road. And it turns out that Zlatan and our 2 Swedish players are like in the back taking pictures because they're like, it's Zlatan. Like, he's a Swedish legend.
Right.
It's Zlatan.
It's Zlatan.
And then at the end of it, our communications director is just kind of standing there, and Zlatan is like, "You want a picture too?" And communications director, yeah.
Of course.
So yes. Got a selfie with Zlatan.
You know, I wouldn't. I'm not really awestruck by athletes. There are a couple though. If like Lionel Messi walked through, I'd probably get a little nervous.
If a global superstar does,
yeah. Messi, Ronaldo. I'm a big Wayne Rooney fan.
I called Wayne Rooney's first goal in MLS.
That's awesome.
That was us. Yeah. He nutmegged Tim Howard.
DC United. Well, Tim Howard's he's had a rough go the last couple of years.
Age catches up to everybody.
Age has caught up to Tim Howard, and I hate saying that because Tim Howard is my favorite player, U.S. men's national team player of all time.
Yeah, he's up there with me for Benny Halbert. But yeah, I called Wayne Rooney's first MLS goal.
That's really cool.
That's pretty dope.
Because, I mean, of all the players, I mean, in terms of English scorers.
It's like Alan Shearer and then.
Wayne maybe
Rooney.
George Best, maybe, and then.
That's a long time ago.
Right. Well, that's the thing is you got to all time is all of the time.
Yeah, but so long ago. It's kind of like Babe Ruth's records, you know?
Right.
Babe Ruth played before integration.
Yes. I told somebody that the other day with some Boston fan because they were like, we have 1 million titles ever, blah. And then I'm like, well, you know, all those World Series you won before integration don't count.
Well, that's what I say to Cardinals fans all the time. They claim, 11 World Series or something like that. Since integration, the Royals and the Cardinals have the same number of World Series. That's what I always say. Pisses Cardinals fans off.
Of all the fan bases to piss off.
Oh, I live in a terrible spot for pissing off fan bases. It's KU basketball on one side. It's Cardinals baseball on the other. And then, of course, Missouri was in the Big 12 for so long. So Oklahoma and Texas, easy to piss off. But, yeah.
There's something about Midwest fan bases. They don't know how to act when they're good.
There's nothing else to do.
They don't know how to act when they're good.
There's nothing else to do.
Alabama fans know how to act when they're good.
They're just arrogant.
They're very arrogant, but they're also there's this acceptance of yeah, I mean, we know that we've got all these advantages and we've got the best coach and we know.
What Alabama fans are you talking to?
The ones that I've seen at games. Those are the ones you have to interact with, the ones in the stands.
The 100,000 Alabama fans at the games
yeah.
all think the same thing.
But they're going to win.
It's quite a hive mind. But yeah, that's one of my big theories about Midwesterners and their inferiority about sports.
Yeah.
It's because there's nothing else to do.
Sure.
Whereas in Denver here, when the Nuggets win, when the Rockies win, you're like, all right, that's great. Let's go up to A-Basin. Let's go shred some new powder.
Yeah.
And then you take your mind off it. You go do other things. Whereas when the Royals win, when the Chiefs win, it's like, all right, Chiefs won.
What do we do now?
Let's count down the next 7 days.
Let's wait 7 days. We won. Let's wait 7 days.
That's how it is. That's the way it is. But also, I mean, to be fair, that does make the winning a little bit more special. Yeah, that Royals World Series run, the two of them, 2014, 2015, it's a little bit more special when the whole city is just suffocating on World Series hype. And you can feel it, almost like humidity, like a thickness in the air. Whereas, when the Rockies went to the playoffs this year and last year, you walk around, you see a little bit of purple, but it's not the same thing. Just people are doing other things.
Well, I mean, a couple of differences there. Royals had already won a World Series. They'd been around for 30 years longer. Also, too, there was that 30-year drought. There was they actually won the World Series, and the Rockies haven't won the World Series yet.
Right, but that's. I mean, I know the Rockies have only been around since '93, but other than the Broncos, nothing really has a stranglehold on this town.
Broncos absolutely do have a stranglehold on Denver. There's no question about that. By the way, these wings, half off at Crush Pizza and Tab every Thursday. You can also get $3 cans. You're having the blood orange
Kolsch?
Crystal Springs. It's really, really good. You also had, what's the other thing you had earlier?
It was a something IPA. It was really good, though. I don't remember what it's called, though.
So $3 cans, half off wings. Those are really good wings. Traditional buffalo style sauce doesn't necessarily look like it, but there's a little bit of smokiness to it. It's really, really good.
You didn't even eat them all.
Well, we're getting back to the game here. Those are really, really good wings, though. Really good wings. The pizza is amazing. We had just a traditional pepperoni pizza. My first time coming here, I always try to get something basic before I started venturing off. But they've got a ton of different selections. They also have not just the hand-tossed pizza. They also have deep dish, Chicago style. And then they also have Sicilian, which is like a really thin crust square pizza they serve here as well. So they've got everything for you here at Crush Pizza and Tab in Denver. 38th Street, really easy to get to right off the highway. Not a problem at all, just north of downtown Denver, right across the highway. It's a really, really great place. Very comfortable here, too. And as you can see behind us, some nice wall art. Here, the Denver skyline.
You know it's called Tap, right?
What?
It's called Tap.
Tap.
Not Tab.
Did I say tab?
You've been saying that all night.
I've been saying tab. Sorry about that. Tap. Crush Pizza and Tap, like as in beer tap. But I've been thoroughly impressed. Like, the food here is fantastic. James, who runs the place, very friendly, very nice. They got enough space here for a big gathering. Of course, if you just want to come here on a date night or whatever, you can do that as well. I know Connor's got some ideas for some dates coming up here in the future.
That's right, he does.
Yeah, well, hey, sounds like you had a good time at the Nuggets game the other night.
It was an Avs game.
Avs game, pardon me. Avs game, right there, rinkside.
Yeah, had a great time at the Avs game. The only downside, which is the downside everywhere, is $11 beers.
$11 beers do kind of hurt.
Luckily, it was like a big can, but still.
78-60. 78-60. The score here, as we are now in the third quarter, second half of this game.
I think the Nuggets just might keep them at arm's length the rest of the night.
Yeah, that's how it's feeling right now. That's how it feels. They got a nice bar area right above us as well.
And it is 21-17 Packers late in the fourth quarter.
No, third quarter, 4:31 to go.
I said fourth quarter? Late in the third quarter. Idiot.
So they have a Jeremy Lin, and then they also have another guy named Len, L-E-N.
Well, that's why they're bad.
He is not Jeremy Lin. Technical foul here.
Way more technical fouls in professional basketball than college basketball. I love it. Be more liberal with that, college basketball.
With the technical fouls?
Yeah. And don't kick somebody out just because they got a couple.
You like technical fouls?
I think when they're called appropriately, which I don't think they're called enough in college basketball.
Jokic with a nice fake there. And dish. See, that's the thing. If 95% of players would take what Jokic just did to the bucket.
Right.
He dishes it off. And I respect that. It was a good play, good shot. They made it. So
Thank you.
it was a good play. But I'm just saying that that level of unselfishness can be a detriment at times for him.
You said it's a good play because they made the shot. I don't know if it's the highest. I don't know if it's the max efficiency play. Like, you can break down every play.
3 in the corner versus 2 at the basket.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's something that could be hurting the Nuggets over a 48-minute game that you don't even realize. It's just how many times Jokic dishes instead of putting up a ball.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It could
be a 10-point difference every night if he does it 5 times.
I think, too, one of the things about covering the NBA every single day, like a lot of these beat writers do, especially around the Nuggets, because I feel like the Nuggets have more of these stat guys than most NBA teams. I mean, most NBA teams have a ton anyways, but
A lot of Nuggets media is Nuggets fans, too.
big time. Yeah, big time. A lot of nice guys. I think your coverage on Mile High Sports from TJ McBride is very good. Matt Moore, who's a national college basketball writer, lives here in Denver. He's very good. But they're very much about efficiency. And the Nuggets are that team. I think they're very much an efficient team. They try to get the best shot on the floor every time. And that's good in regular season basketball. I think it helps you as a regular season basketball team. And unfortunately for people who cover the team every day or fans who follow the team every day, you get into the everyday mentality of thinking this is what wins you games in aggregate over the course of a season, instead of, all right, we have 4 chances to beat this team, and you have to do what it takes to beat that team. And That's where guys like Jordan made their hay. Jordan was a great player in general, obviously, but he was never better than he was in the playoffs.
I do think about that a lot when you think about the aggregate, when you think about the season as a whole and finding inefficiencies. Billy Bean with the A's, it's all about finding inefficiencies.
Yeah.
And what can make you more efficient. How do you make up that gap? But when it comes down, that's all general. And when it comes down to a specific scenario,
yeah,
the stats don't matter. The most efficient shot doesn't matter.
Sure.
It's just about, can you make it or not?
Right.
And Michael Jordan made those shots.
Let's see. Derek updating us on a topic from earlier. 2001, Iverson won MVP.
Stepped over Tyronn Lue. Shout out to Raytown.
Mexico City.
Shout out to Raytown.
Mexico City,
Missouri.
Missouri.
We shout out to Raytown.
Did he shout out Raytown? I thought he shouted out Mexico City.
Shout out Raytown.
I thought he shouted out Mexico City. Chris says Royals used to be farm system of Major League Baseball. Every team would poach their team for players. That's true.
Yeah, it goes back to my childhood. Johnny Damon, Carlos Beltran, Jermaine Dye.
Yep.
I remember when they all got traded after I fell in love with all of them when I was like 7 years old.
Yeah.
That sucked. But it goes back even farther than that.
You're right.
Yogi Berra played in Kansas City and then was sniped by the Yankees.
For the A's?
I don't think it was the A's. It was a team before the A's.
Who was the team before the A's? Man, I don't know.
I can look it up.
Let's see here. Yeah, also, too, I still think that's true because they lost Lorenzo Cain to the Brewers. They lost Eric Hosmer to the Padres. They way overpaid for Alex Gordon, who has been trash since they gave him $70 million.
They didn't overpay him.
No, that's true.
They did what the Ravens did to Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
They paid the world championship tax.
They paid the wrong player a lot of money. Chris says, wow, Ed Oliver went after his head coach, Major Applewhite, as they were going into the locker room for halftime. Check your Twitter, TJ. Okay, what happened? What happened here? I have to check that. Check out what's going on Twitter. I don't check my Twitter as often as I used to. Ooh, yeah, 2 minutes ago. Here we go. Look at this. As the Cougars went in halftime, Ed Oliver. What's happening here? Woo! Oh, boy. Oh, man, he is about... Man, Major Applewhite, huh? Former Longhorn, Major Applewhite.
What's Ed Oliver's deal?
I don't know.
He's not dressed, though.
85-65, the score here.
Somebody says that Major Applewhite is mad that Ed Oliver is holding himself out.
Oh. Why is he doing that? Why is he holding himself out?
To go get drafted.
Just so he doesn't get hurt?
There's more money in the NFL than there is as being a Houston Cougar.
You realize if colleges were allowed to pay players and we didn't have scholarship limitations or eligibility, limitations on years, Tim Tebow would still be the starting quarterback for the Florida Gators.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A.J. McCarron would still be the start quarterback of the Tide.
that's right. How would the NFL adjust to that? They'd have to start guaranteeing contracts, right? Because if colleges were allowed to do whatever they wanted, just like, like a Major League Baseball team or a professional soccer team, they could just do whatever they wanted, pay whatever they wanted to whomever they wanted to. Like, the college teams would surpass, in many cases, college teams would surpass NFL teams, some NFL teams. Not all of them, but
Yeah, the Bills would be toast.
the Bills would be screwed. The Jacksonville Jaguars would be screwed. I think the Packers would probably be screwed.
I mean, the Packers' ownership is just so strong.
They're people. Well, they're the city.
So many people.
It's just the municipality of
So
Green
many
Bay.
people. That's the joke. You didn't get it.
I didn't get it. What was the joke?
The joke is that
there are
they're
people.
not owned by a single person or a family or a trust. They're owned by
The city of
the
Green
city,
Bay,
yeah.
basically.
It's fine. It's whatever. Read a
Okay,
book.
I don't. What are you talking about?
Rockets
that.
beat the Warriors 107-86.
107 to 86, 31 points,
It's going to keep the KD Draymond rumors going.
21 points.
Do math.
I'm not great at it. It takes me a minute. 92-65 here. Well, the Nuggets are absolutely crushing the Hawks.
Over under 130 for the Nuggets.
130?
Yeah.
Under.
125.
You're going to say 125? That's your prediction? That they score 125 points tonight?
No. Over under 125.
Oh, under.
120.
Under.
115. So when do they take their
Under.
foot off the gas?
I mean, once you're up 30, I feel like that's when you take your foot off the gas, when you're up 30. Unless you're playing the Warriors.
Could probably put in Michael Porter Jr., get him some minutes.
He's hurt. He's
That doesn't
still
matter against these guys.
You don't want him to trip over Jeremy Lin and then re-injure. And then you're like, why? Michael Malone's answering questions about why Michael Porter Jr. was in the game to trip over Jeremy Lin. Like, you don't answer those questions. I promise you, there are more people who, outside of Denver, who would be upset about Michael Porter Jr. hurting himself up 30 against the Hawks than there are in Denver.
Yeah. Columbia, Missouri would melt.
What are you doing?
He's our chance at a superstar.
You're right. That's right.
If he does well, you know what that does for the University of Missouri?
What? What does it do for them?
A lot.
He played 9 games for them.
Yeah.
Not even that.
You know what Konzo can recruit off that?
Off of the 9 games that Michael Porter Jr. played for them,
Hiring
sort
his
of.
dad. Come to Missouri, I'll hire your dad.
He hired his dad, and wait. His dad is the coach of the women's team?
No. His dad is an assistant coach for Konzo. His dad, when he was at Mizzou, was an assistant for the women's team.
Ah, okay.
But that's why they came back, is because they missed Columbia. And when Michael Porter Sr. went to Seattle, he took Jonte and Michael Porter Jr. with him. But the girls and the younger sons and the wife stayed in Columbia.
That's, by the way, the first time I've ever heard of anybody missing Columbia, Missouri.
I mean, I like game day. I don't really miss it.
I mean, there's not much to miss.
It's a fine college town.
It's a college town.
It's a fine college town.
It's a college town.
Plenty of places to get drunk. There's plenty of good food.
There's Shakespeare's, and then that's about it.
No, there's Flat Branch. There's Booch's. There's Fieldhouse. There's Piano.
Piano?
It's a piano bar.
Yeah, that's... you can try to... you can call it piano.
It's just called Piano.
It's not... no.
That's what it's called. It's just called Piano.
Yeah, it's called Singing Drunk to Piano Man with 15 other people.
To Toto's Africa.
It's at 2 a.m.
That's the American dream.
with a plastic mug that you are allowed to fill up with beer for $2 as many times as you want. That's that is that was my whole college experience. Not in Columbia though, in a much nicer college town, Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Fayetteville sucks.
It doesn't. Fayetteville is like nationally ranked for how great of a college town it is.
Columbia is too.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. The U.S. News.
Who the fuck's U.S. News?
They ranked Denver as the best place to live.
All right. In quality,
Austin is
quality of journalism, I'm up here with like New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Washington Post. I don't know where U.S. News comes in.
I don't know either. All I know is that they ranked cities, and they ranked Fayetteville third. It was like the third best place to live in America.
U.S. News, the best aggregator of ranking cities.
Let's see.
There was that one airport ranking from the Wall Street Journal.
Wall Street Journal had DIA
number
one.
Which, as someone who spent a lot of time at DIA this summer, it's absolutely true. DIA is far and away the best airport in the
Somebody
United
was
States.
Complaining about that and saying, are you talking about the same DIA that has the baggage thing that eats all of your luggage? And my response was, it's an airport, lower your expectations.
There's an Elways in Terminal B.
Yeah, it's a nice airport.
We went to Elways when we got stuck going to Montreal. I had a $75 steak in an airport. It's terrific.
Yeah.
Where else can you live that life?
Not many other places. I've heard Orlando has a nice airport. I've never been to the Orlando airport.
Isn't the Orlando airport only nice because it's got so much like Disney money
Sure,
in it?
yeah. Like they paid a lot of money to
Right.
make the Orlando airport nice.
And all I can think about is how many like little rugrats there are going to Disney World
Yeah,
and ruining the airport.
lots.
Yeah, it's a sugar high the whole time.
Sky Harbor in Phoenix is nice.
I haven't been to that one.
It's a really nice airport.
MCI, Kansas City's, is simultaneously amazing and awful.
Yes, yeah. Well, if you're
If you
leaving
land-
from or going to Kansas City, it's fine.
No. If you're landing in Kansas City, it's terrific because you get off the plane and you're at the curb in 50 steps.
Right.
If you have to go through security and you have to look for something to eat, it's garbage because all there is Starbucks and some ham and cheese sandwiches.
Pig and whistle. Yeah.
Nobody's eating there.
No. Unless you have to. If you have a layover in Kansas City, you hate Kansas
you might
City
as well
with
walk.
the fire of 10,000 suns.
You might as well walk.
Let's see. Chris says Draymond Green 0 points tonight. Wasn't he suspended? Or was that last game?
I think it was suspended last game.
He was
Without pay.
okay, suspended last game. Jeremy Lin pulling up from 3.
Oh,
No.
Vince Carter.
That was Vince Carter.
Now the deficit's only 30.
Who the hell plays for Atlanta? They have Jeremy Lin, the ghost
Trae
of
Young,
Vince Carter.
Jeremy Lin, Vince Carter, Miles Plumlee, some dude named Horter, a freshman ginger from Maryland.
They have a dirty Ginge, a rookie, Trae Young, a Plumlee, Jeremy Lin, and Vince Carter. Look at Vince Carter there playing some defense. How old is Vince Carter? Vince Carter has to be 60 years old now.
That doesn't matter. His dunk in the his international dunk that he had is still the best dunk of all time.
Over 7'2", nameless Serbian player.
Yeah, nameless. It's kind of like a World War II grave. It's unmarked.
Here lies the nameless Serbian that Vince Carter dunked on.
Here lies unknown soldier. Vince Carter is 41 years old.
He is still playing and still productive.
He went to North Carolina his freshman year in 1995.
Wow. Still in the league. Still in the league. Vince Carter was just a monster when he was younger. He was a monster.
I had one of those NBA games as a kid. I don't remember which one it was, but you always had to have Vince Carter on your squad.
Yeah.
Like his dunks, if you just touched the dunk button, he would dunk it.
Right.
Didn't matter who was in his way. Didn't matter how far away you were.
Yep.
It was kind of like playing like backyard baseball with that little kid Pablo.
You see, Pablo Sanchez. Oh, yeah. Pablo Sanchez, the best athlete in this or any other generation in video games.
He's the Shohei Ohtani of video games.
He's amazing. 5-tool player. He was good in backyard football, too.
Look at Vince Carter. He's like being held together by kinesiology tape.
They've got that's right. They got the tape all over his shoulder to keep it there. It's not helping decompress his muscles. It's helping his shoulder stay attached to his torso.
Do you know the story of William Wallace? Braveheart?
Like the real story?
Yeah, like the real story.
Yeah.
Like that he was drawn, hanged, and quartered, and then beheaded?
Yes.
So I didn't know that part. Because in Braveheart, they don't show him getting eviscerated.
No, but they like allude to it.
They allude to it, but they don't show it.
Yeah.
There's that new Netflix movie out, The Outlaw King.
That's terrible.
It's Chris Pine.
It's bad.
It wasn't terrible.
It's
bad.
Fine.
It was fine.
I don't like it. I didn't care for it.
Fine.
It's awful.
But they showed like the body parts of William Wallace in one scene.
Yeah.
And it's like just his arm. And I was like, what the fuck? What did I miss?
They say it at the end of the movie. They give you the little like text at the end where they say his body parts were put in the four corners.
Nobody reads that. Are you talking about the credits?
Right. By the way, Braveheart, most historically inaccurate movie I thought was historically accurate ever. Like when I watched it as a kid, I watched it, I'm like, hey, went to painstaking lengths to make this historically accurate. And turns out nothing in that movie is true.
Yeah,
like,
he was
nothing.
He was like in France, like most of his adult life.
Right.
William Wallace.
Yes.
And then he got captured and taken to London.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the whole prima nocta thing, not a thing.
Right. Also, not a thing. Also, the woman that he allegedly had sex with, who was married to the king, who was gay, or the prince who was gay, she was like 7 years old when all that stuff was happening. She was a child.
It still happened.
It was back in medieval times.
Chris was 12.
Chris says Atlanta hated Dwight Howard so much they traded him, and he's from Atlanta. Yeah, Dwight Howard, most unlikable play. Actually, I take that back. Rajon Rondo, probably more unlikable.
Dwight Howard's unlikability goes so far that it erases like his birth certificate. Atlanta, Georgia, they just cross it out. He's from Charlotte now.
105. All right, I may be wrong. I thought they were going to get to like 112. They're going to get. They may get to 125. They probably will at this point. It's not even the fourth quarter yet. It's 105.
That's why I set the over-under at 130.
God, they are just destroying the Hawks.
It's 21-20 now with 12:14 left in the fourth quarter. Packers up by 1. The Hawks have just put in a field goal.
Braveheart is like the movie Rudy, very inaccurate. That's is what Chris says.
Chris is right. I think Rudy's probably the most accurate one.
Very, very inaccurate because they actually did carry him off the field on the shoulders, but it was
ironically.
It was sarcastic. It was ironic. Yeah.
No, there's no varsity players throwing down their jerseys, being like, "We ain't playing unless the scrub play."
Listening to who was it? Who was the quarterback? Was it Joe Montana? Was it Joe Namath?
Joe Namath played at Alabama.
Right. It was Joe Montana. I think Joe Montana said of that Notre Dame squad, he's like, yeah, that move was ridiculous. Not only did that not happen, the opposite of that was true.
It's like the Lion King of movies. Yeah, the lions don't really hang out with the other mammals.
Yeah,
it's
the
don't. Opposite of that.
Yeah, they kind of kill them. They eat them. Let's see. Derek says the Hawks roster is like someone building one on 2K that hasn't followed the NBA since 2012 and is a Trae Young homer.
It's accurate.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Washington Redskins. I saw there was a ratings adjuster at the Redskins game the other day, and I thought to myself, is Madden 09 getting a roster update?
Who's the best player on the Redskins?
Adrian Peterson.
Josh Norman?
Oh, you mean like
who's the best football player on the Redskins?
Adrian Peterson.
Without a doubt, nobody else.
It's still he's played really well this year.
I think his legs are going to fall off.
I mean, they probably will, but he's still the best player on their team.
Okay.
Their other options are Vernon Davis, and Malcolm Floyd.
The ghost of Vernon Davis.
And Alex Smith.
So they're kind of like a 2009 NFL team.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Did you not know that about?
I didn't realize all those guys were on the Redskins.
Yeah, they've got some other guys too. What about Ryan Kerrigan is probably their best player. Ryan Kerrigan. Kerrigan's good.
Yeah.
There's Mason Plumlee.
So who's the tattooed guy?
I think that was Juancho Hernan Gomez.
I didn't realize he was blonde. Oh, that's rude.
Oh, so close. 109-73 is the score at the end of the third quarter.
Good game. Thanks for playing, Hawks.
It's not a good game at all.
It's pretty trash. Like I said, that's what happens when you have one team that's trying to lose.
And the Nuggets, who really, really needed a win tonight.
They really, really needed a win against Brooklyn, and they couldn't do it.
That's fair.
I love the Packers' color rush jerseys with the white pants. They need to wear that on the road all the time. Get the fucking cheese pants out.
Yeah, I like the all-whites. The all-white jerseys in the NFL are usually pretty nice. I thought the
ones are good.
The Rams?
The Chiefs ones are good.
The Rams? I like the Rams. If they take the gold out of the Rams color scheme and just make it the blue and the white again, they're going to look pretty slick.
Did you know they couldn't, like NFL league rules, like you can't change the jerseys within 5 years?
What?
Like that's the reason they still have the gold in the uniforms.
In the NFL?
Yeah.
They have that. I know they had that rule because of Nike Reebok. Why don't they change? Why don't they just change that? I know that you can't wear different helmets. You have to stay with the same helmet.
Right. But you can't change your uniforms except every 5 years.
That's stupid.
That's why the Rams can't take the gold out of their uniforms. But they're planning to. They will as soon as they're allowed. I think it's next year that they can.
Why would they make that rule in 2018? Why would they have that rule? Can't it? And also too, who's in charge of changing that rule?
Owners, like everything.
Couldn't they just change it?
I guess if they wanted to, but maybe they don't all like Stan Kroenke.
I don't know who is liked or disliked, other than that I know Dan Snyder and Jerry Jones are both disliked.
I know Robert Kraft and Clark Hunt are respected.
Clark Hunt's respected. Robert Kraft is respected. The Rooney's representative, whoever's representing their family at the meetings, is always respected.
Pat Bowlen was respected.
Bowlen was. He still is. But
I think the Glazers are respected, even though the Bucks suck.
Are the Glazers respected?
I think so. They're pretty wealthy.
They have a lot of money. I know that. Because they own Arsenal. No, Manchester
United.
Manchester City. They don't own Manchester United.
Manchester City is Saudi money.
They own Manchester United? The Glazers? I'm pretty sure they own Arsenal.
Google it. Stan Kroenke owns Arsenal.
Well, then they own Liverpool.
No, that's the Fenway Group.
Jay Glazer? Is he related to the Glazer family?
Yeah. No. The Fox reporter? No.
Yeah. I don't know the name of the Glazers. Brian Glazer?
I don't know.
We'll look at his Wikipedia page here. See everything. Yeah, he does own Manchester United. That sucks. That must be why Man U sucks these days.
No, Man U sucks because they have Jose Mourinho.
Well, replacing Sir Alex Ferguson kind of a high bar.
Right.
Difficult to do.
Especially in the mercenary era of soccer coaches.
Yeah.
Nobody lasts more than 3 years in a job. That dude was there for 20 plus.
Who was the German coach who sniffed his butt a bunch?
He's still the coach of the German national team.
Yeah.
Joachim Löw.
Yeah. Who was he who was he the pro coach for? Our manager for.
Before he was the national team coach? Probably a German team.
Just any random German team?
I don't think it was Bayern Munich or Borussia Dortmund.
No.
So it could be Mainz or Frankfurt.
Hamburger.
Hamburg, you mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
The Nuggets are just running circles around the Hawks. Wide open three. It's 112-77 now.
He was the coach of...
Beasley hit that.
He was the coach of Stuttgart, which is where they make
Stuttgart.
Porsches.
Yeah.
That's where Porsches are from. He
Stuttgart.
was the coach of Fenerbahce, which is a Turkish team.
Fenerbahce, that's right.
Karlsruhe, that's another German team. And then he was the coach of a couple Austrian teams before he was the German national coach. Good for him.
I'll take another. Yeah, Fenerbahce. They're the fans that set their own stadium on fire. I believe they play in Istanbul. I think that's
there's a cluster of Istanbul teams.
Right, because there's like 50 million people who live in Istanbul.
Right, it's Fenerbahce, it's Galatasaray, it's Besiktas. There's a couple really, really good Turkish teams, and they're all scary. Ha! Glazer owns Man U. Look at that.
Chris says Jenna has an easy assignment tonight covering the Nuggets.
What's she even doing down there?
She was hosting a pregame show for Mile High Sports, and I'm guessing covering the locker room tonight down at Pepsi Center, which is right around the corner. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, guys, we're here at Crush Pizza and Tap. Of course, you can see that there on the screen. Awesome location here, 38th Street in Denver, just northwest of downtown. And how easy was it for you to get here? Because you live on the other side of downtown.
5 minutes.
Yeah, so
Just took Park the whole way.
Yeah, no problem.
Easy.
Nice.
I think the Highlands, Lehigh area is super accessible.
Yeah, Lehigh's a pretty nice area. My wife and I were down here the other day for we got some ice cream. Little Man's Ice Cream.
Oh yeah. The place down there, right across from the river.
Used to be a mortuary.
Get some dead bodies in your ice cream.
No.
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know what they put in their ice cream, but it's delicious. It was 20 degrees outside, and we were getting ice cream. And there was a line. That's how good this ice cream is.
Why were y'all getting ice cream?
Because she wanted some ice cream, and my baby gets what my baby wants.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Well, she wanted some ice cream. We went to go get some ice cream.
Now I got a question. What's wrong with her?
She wanted ice cream.
At 20 degrees.
She has the cravings that she has.
She pregnant?
No. At least not that I'm aware of.
Something you want to say?
Not that I'm aware of.
It's going to freak you out for the next 6 hours?
No.
Yeah, if she had a baby.
I would be very happy if she were. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
That's not very convincing. Yeah, sure. I guess.
Sure.
Whatever.
No, I would. I'm ready to start populating the earth with my seed.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Just spreading my seed across the planet.
Because then they'll spread your bullshit ideas, too. That's not what we need.
I have the best ideas.
Imagine a 5-year-old trolling Denver public schools about John Elway.
You think that's what he would? I know. It would be something specific to the schools, like how ridiculous their math teaching is now.
Oh, Common Core.
The Common Core, it's like approximate math. They don't ask kids to know the exact number. And when I was growing up, that was what math was. Math meant specifically there is a right answer to this problem.
They don't ask them to know the exact number anymore?
No. They'll just say, like, what's 73 times 7? And then they're like, well, I know 7 times 7 is 49, so 490 about? And then they're like that's how they teach math now.
That can't be right.
I know. I was shocked. But that's how they teach math now.
That's not math.
Well, that's why my kid's going to have a lot of hot takes about the curriculum.
That's shooting an arrow and drawing a bullseye around it later.
That's right.
That's not right.
That's what is happening. to public education. Very upset about it.
Well, I guess America had a good run.
I mean, we're at the late stage of this experiment. I mean, pretty sure everybody's in debt. Pretty sure everybody is no way. Like, there's no way. There's no way to keep growing wealth. There's just no way. That's not how numbers work.
Apparently, it is.
Well, fast break the other way. Plumlee lost the ball. He's upset about it. Throws the ball quickly down court. Hawks make it a little closer. 114-79.
Make it respectable.
There's no way to make this game respectable.
No. This game was over in the first quarter. It was over when the Nuggets went on a 9-0 run.
Yeah.
What's more interesting now is professional football.
24-20, Packers lead. 8:11 to go in the fourth.
So this is what I talk about with people all the time. Why the NFL is king. It's because on a Thursday night, you're not watching Nuggets Hawks. You're watching Packers Seahawks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody will be watching Packers Seahawks. It's Russell Wilson versus Aaron Rodgers. It's one of the better quarterback matchups that you can have in the league.
And it's coming down here to the final quarter, final minutes.
Is this the first time Thursday Night Football has been interesting this year? No? Yes?
I don't. Who can remember? I don't know.
It's been mostly bad teams playing on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
I mean, that Broncos-Cardinals game was
Holy crap.
trash.
It really has been.
It's been bad.
Okay, Rams-Vikings was the last good one.
Jets-Browns.
There was Jets-Browns. Yeah, that's all there is. Okay, then.
I saw Eagles-Falcons.
That was the first game of the year, though.
That was an attempt at making Thursday Night Football relevant. It did not work, but... By the way, tell me if you agree with this take. The Falcons are the best team in the league perennially until the season starts. Every year. Russell Wilson on the march. 6:24 to go. Big first down. He's going to throw one of those passes to Tyler Lockett where it just drops right into his hands for a touchdown.
He's good at that. I think that's probably fair. The Falcons are the best team until the season starts.
There's no reason why they should be this bad.
They're getting better. I know they lost to the Browns. They got blown out by the Browns. But until then, they were getting better.
They're getting better. I know they just got beaten by 21 points by the Browns. I don't care how good you think the Browns are. You can't lose to the Browns by 21.
No. Albright's saying that's a quality loss.
Right. Albright is, yeah. Because Albright's basically on their coaching staff.
Yeah, it's probably Falcons. But, I mean, you look at the Falcons roster, and you're like, wow, that's so much talent.
Derek says Mike Gundy says that social media is ruining the country.
Snowflakes, liberalism, transfers.
I mean, college campuses, I don't know, you weren't that far removed from college. When were you in college? How many years ago? 4, 5, 3, 2? No, you've been here for 2 years.
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
3.5 years removed from college. 7 years ago. 7 years ago. Nah, it's a little more than that now for me. But I distinctly remember thinking that, like, freedom of speech was, like, a really big liberal ideal, and it is not anymore. And I don't know when that happened, when that change happened, but can't say I'm a fan.
It's when words became violence.
Well, yeah. Well,
When we ascribed incorrect attributions to words. And
Yeah.
we forgot that words have meaning, and violence has a very specific meaning. And
Right.
then we said, oh, words are violence now.
yeah.
That's when it started.
Yeah, right. But who said that? Who said words are violence? Words aren't violence.
I don't know. It started somewhere on a college campus, though.
Words are very specifically not violence.
Yeah, almost
There's
the
a-
opposite of.
There is a phrase that says sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Like that's a very everybody knows that.
That's why, like, unlike the UK and Germany and other European places, like, hate speech is protected in the United States.
Germany has a very interesting some laws on that stuff.
Well, they have a very interesting history.
right. Oh, I was wrong. It's Doug Baldwin.
Too much time on the clock.
It's Doug Baldwin.
Nah, it's
no,
not.
Dixon. It was Dixon, the tight end.
Too much time.
5:08 for Aaron Rodgers.
Time for Aaron Rodgers to score. Then
Right. Well,
Wilson go down and score
Russell
again.
Wilson will have to do that again. There's that much time left in that game.
But yeah, I mean, like in the UK, like you can get in trouble for things you can't get in trouble for in the United States.
Well, that's good.
The First Amendment, we take it for granted in the United States because it's not universal. It's not everywhere.
Yeah.
Of course, it makes sense that as the world becomes more globalized and we become more connected with the rest of the world, that some of their ideals slip into our culture.
Yeah.
And one of them is, oh, you can't say that.
You can't say that.
That's one of the things.
Right, but the you can't say that in other countries usually comes from like a place of power. Like in Saudi Arabia, you're not allowed to say certain things because the elites don't want you to say certain things.
Right. And from the United States, it comes from a place of culture.
Yeah. But the things
It comes
that
from Tumblr.
But see, the law isn't really the thing that makes people afraid to say things. It's public pressure. Right?
The court of public opinion, yeah.
Yeah.
Which sucks. Like you can't have that free exchange of ideas anymore.
The thing I don't like is when people get mad at jokes versus like they don't understand the difference between somebody who's telling a joke. You can say the same thing as somebody else, but if somebody else really means what they say versus somebody else who's using it as a joke, you need to be able to, in your mind, distinguish between the two, and I shouldn't have to explain it to you.
Right.
Like there's, like that's the thing that I think irritates me more than anything else.
It is almost like a limited brain capacity. I think it was Mark Twain who said the identifier of a smart man is the ability to entertain an idea without believing it.
Yeah.
Now we can't do that anymore. Nobody
It's a
can
good quote.
entertain an idea.
No,
They
you
can't
either
think about
believe it or
Right.
yeah, right. That's right.
Nobody can think critically and decide on their own. They have to be told what else to think.
The one of the coolest moments I've seen over the last couple of weeks, kind of around the election, not really, was Pete Davidson making fun of the Republican
Dan Crenshaw.
Lost his eye in
whatever.
war, and he used the phrase "he lost his eye in a war" or whatever,
Right.
on SNL, and it was a joke. And Pete Davidson, as a comedian, I think it's okay for him to make those jokes. It's fine with me.
I think it's okay for him to make those jokes as long as they're funny, and that one wasn't funny.
People I thought the whole bit was funny, but I thought what was even funnier was when everybody got outraged, they invited instead of saying no, you should be smarter than that. You should understand the difference between a joke, and they invited him on the show. They brought him on the show the next week.
And they let him roast.
And they let him roast Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's how you're supposed to handle that. You're not supposed to just be like, oh, we need to protect and make everybody sensitive and don't tell jokes.
I told somebody that on Twitter, and you know what I received back as a response was I was like, this was a good moment. This was two people crossing the
great.
gap. It's nice. It's a very American moment. And what I got back when I said that was, yeah, but nobody should be associating with Crenshaw because his beliefs are so murderous and so terrible, and they lead to the death of people. And I was like, all right, whatever. Not going to win here. I'm not going to win this argument.
Murderous death beliefs.
I was like, well, it's awful that Pete Davidson would even associate with Crenshaw,
Right.
that SNL would even invite him on.
Yeah. Well, it's like you were talking about the people who were socialists earlier, like really want like the gulag back and stuff.
That's full communism.
Full communism. Yeah.
Hammer and sickle it up, bitch.
Right. But then people are like, well, socialism is awful. Well, socialism is also the reason why you have a fire department and police and roads.
No.
That's socialism.
That's not.
It is.
That's not.
That is socialism.
It all depends on your definition of socialism. Like socialism, it can be many things. And conveniently, it's always whatever someone wants it to be.
Yeah.
As befitting their argument.
No, I mean, it's other things too. But it's like you can't just say, oh, well, capitalism is just good.
Socialism started as when Karl Marx, because Karl Marx's ideas of socialism and communism are so different than the way Lenin implemented them after Bolshevism and after World War I. So different. Like, there's a good argument to make that if Lenin could see, or if Karl Marx could see what Lenin did with his ideas, he'd be horrified. Because he's like, that's not what I meant. But it changes. The definition changes. And socialism is two different definitions. One of them is the government pays for everything, and the other one is workers have a substantial take in the ownership of a company.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two different things.
Okay.
So socialism is not, to me, socialism is not fire trucks and cops and all that, or roads.
But it is,
like,
though.
We're not all fucking libertarians out here saying, I don't want anybody to build me a road.
Right, but you have to at least appreciate like the philosophy around having those things as communal.
I don't think a fire department is counter-cultural to a capitalist society of efficiency.
It absolutely is.
No, it's not.
There is no profit margin in if you had capitalism, a capitalist system. If you apply that to the fire department, you would only get your fire put out in your house if you paid that fire department.
I don't think so.
Directly.
I don't think that's true because fires are a...
But instead you pay the government, and the government says, well, everybody's covered.
Right. It's all about what the government covers.
Right. That's why you have to pay taxes.
Is it fire, police, security, bridges, healthcare?
Yeah. Which, by the way, all those things in severe disrepair in America because of mostly, capitalism. Because there's no profit margin in any of that stuff. There's profit margin. Once they put a profit margin in the jail system, all of a sudden, a lot more people started getting put in prison.
Oh, there's definitely a profit margin in building bridges.
No, well, there is.
There's a huge profit margin in toll roads.
In tolls are different than.
I guarantee you, there's a capitalist.
Tolls
out
are different
there.
than state contracts.
There's a capitalist out there who's like, I can make money off this bridge.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, it's just like E470 over here, which I hate. I hate E470. You don't even mess with E470. That's like a totally you have no idea what I'm talking about with E470. There's some people who Denverites know what I'm talking about with E470. It is 126 to 84. 126 to 84.
That's not particularly close in basketball parlance.
Look, part of the reason why we haven't talked a whole lot about this game is because it's terrible. I mean, the Nuggets are just destroying the Hawks.
But it's like I said at the beginning of the game. Don't read too much into it.
Yeah, don't read too much into it. But you should definitely come to Crush Pizza and Tap. Crush Pizza and Tap, fantastic place. Love the pizza here. The wings were very, very good.
The wings are phenomenal.
Wings were excellent. A little bit of bite to them. I was expecting, because we got just the traditional buffalo sauce.
Right.
I was expecting it to be a little bit more mild. It wasn't.
Oh.
It had a little bit of a bite to it. It was nice.
On fire at the end.
I liked it. It was really, really good. The wings were excellent. You had an IPA or was it two IPAs?
I had an IPA and then I had 2 or 3 of these Kolsch's.
Yeah, and you like those.
I really like this.
$3 cans on Thursdays, half price wings on Thursdays, and then $5 off Sicilian-style pizza. Excellent across the board.
If you're a capitalist, that's just good economics.
That's right. So come on in, 38th Street here in downtown Denver, just northwest of downtown Denver. Wide open 3 missed there by Atlanta.
Hey.
wide
Go
open.
to the gym and see how many you make.
Me?
Yeah.
Wide open?
Yeah.
Make more than you think.
No, you wouldn't.
Make more than you think.
You'd make 3 out of 10.
I can't wait until. By the way, y'all need to invite me to the next media game you guys have out there at the PIDS.
Oh, absolutely. Next year, you're for sure invited.
I'll ball out.
You won't.
I got. You know what? You know what happened? Last time I was in a soccer media game,
No.
Nate Bucati stole my thunder. I was a good teammate in the media game, and I passed the ball to Nate, who then just shot up very easy because the goalkeeper was some fat guy, couldn't even move. It was just pathetic what he did to that poor man. And I assisted him. But he stole my thunder, and everybody was like cheering, and he got to get all the credit. I was the one who made the play. I got the ball all the way down there, all the way inside the box.
See, the Rapids media game, we play a full 60 minutes.
Oh, it's not like at halftime.
It's not just a halftime game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
That's
You're
a different.
not going to ball out. And we have like former college athletes like playing too.
Oh, I can still.
You weren't a college athlete.
No, but I can.
What's your position?
I would be an attacking midfielder. Cam. I'd be playing Cam.
You don't have that vision.
Oh, I've got that vision. I've got that footwork.
You don't have that foot.
I can pass.
No, you can't.
Oh, deft.
Doug Ottewell dominated.
Doug Ottewell is 6'5", and he played college basketball at SMU.
After he scored twice, like I was kind of like, Doug, take it easy. They're not going to invite you back. Stop. And then he scored again.
Of course, yeah. Doug is going.
He had
absolutely.
a hat trick. Like he just abused these poor people.
Luka Jukovic says, "What do you think about Jokic?" My thoughts on Jokic are: I think he has potential, the potential to be like Magic Johnson-esque. He has that potential. Now, potential is almost never realized. He's a triple-double machine waiting to happen, but he's also got to get a little bit of killer mentality that he doesn't have right now. That's what's holding it back. He is not as confident in his own abilities as I am, and that's why I think he's probably not going to end up being the elite level player everybody knows he has the potential to be. That's my take on Jokic at this point.
Yeah, he's soft. Like, ultimately, at the end of the day, you can say all these nice things that you want about his passing game.
Very literally soft, too. I think he's the doughiest player in the NBA since Charles Barkley.
Yeah, he's pretty doughy, yeah. Which is kind of disappointing because he's tall, so it's harder to be doughy.
He needs to get jacked. Get a jacked Jokic in there.
Yeah. I mean, that would help.
Sure.
I bet part of it is probably he's just not as strong as everyone else.
If Jokic had the body of Dwight Howard, no one could stop that guy, ever.
Well, nobody could stop Dwight Howard when he wanted to play.
Right. When Dwight Howard wanted to play, he was getting 40 rebounds and
just only wanted to play for like 2 years.
Those 2
Which
years
I
in
respect.
Orlando.
I respect that.
Yeah, 2 years in Orlando when he wanted to play. And that was it.
$50 million off it.
He made $100 million off that. Let's see. What was the last time Atlanta was beaten this bad by Sherman on his march to the sea?
That's a dope reference.
Is that a Civil War reference?
Yeah, General William Tecumseh Sherman. He razed Atlanta to the ground.
Tecumseh. Yeah.
Yeah, he was named after an Indian chief.
There's a scene in Gone with the Wind about that.
Oh, watch Gone with the Wind.
You've never seen Gone with the Wind?
No. I've never seen The Wizard of Oz either.
You've never seen The Wizard of Oz?
Like, I've had it retold to me all the time.
What else haven't you seen?
A lot of movies from that era.
Have you seen E.T.?
No. I just recently saw Casablanca, though.
Well, that's good.
Well,
Humphrey
Frank
Bogart.
gave my idea. I don't give a damn. It's great. It's like, I get it now. It's a good line.
That's a line from Gone with the Wind.
Oh, maybe. No.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a
is.
damn.
Maybe
It's Gone with the Wind.
I just remember standing at the piano with the chocolate bar. That's Casablanca. Hawks gonna win.
Of all the joints in all the world, you had to walk into mine.
Yeah, she walked into mine. That's it.
Is that over?
Over.
Seahawks win 27-24.
Did they cover the spread?
Aaron doesn't make the comeback.
Did they cover the spread?
Why is that the only thing you care about? We're almost done with the fourth quarter here. 138-93. Absolutely destroyed. 138-93.
Spread was 3.
Really interesting conversations, as we always like to have here. Chris says 2-minute warning. Luca, yeah, European basketball is a lot softer than NBA, so European players as well. Yeah, that's true.
Other than Dirk Nowitzki, who's the best European player in the NBA?
European?
Yeah.
Tony Parker.
Like now. Tony Parker's old and he plays for Charlotte.
The Charlotte Hornets not considered to be in the NBA.
It's a minor league NBA team. It's a G League.
I would say Tony Parker would. You're asking for like young guys?
Yeah,
I mean,
the up and coming European player.
Doncic is.
He's played like 15 games.
I know, but he's so good.
No, it doesn't count. We'll see what he does after Christmas when the season starts.
You're asking for a player who's played in the league for multiple years.
Yeah.
Let's see. Klay Thompson is from the Bahamas, or his father's from the Bahamas.
That's not Europe. That's pretty far from Europe, actually.
No. I'm just reciting. I'm just trying to go through my head of like what you're looking for, and I don't think that it exists.
So there's no
Giannis.
Giannis. Yeah, it's Giannis.
Giannis.
It's Giannis.
Antetokounmpo.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Antetokounmpo. Giannis Antetokounmpo. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. If you guys don't have any other things, Chris says Austin Spurs defending G League champs.
Hang that trophy up.
Guys, see, Chris says, will you actually have a show on Monday because Mahomes will be playing during your show? We will be doing a show on Monday. I've been upset the last couple of weeks. We've had Ari canceled and then Josh canceled, and I was trying to get other people on the show, and they didn't want to do it. Connor, if you're interested on Monday.
I'll be in Kansas City.
You'll be in KC.
Yeah, at that point.
Will you be at the Chiefs game?
It's in Los Angeles.
Oh, that's right.
So
it was going to be in Mexico City.
It was.
But the field was dog shit.
It was terrible.
I don't see what the problem is. I mean, they used to play on fields like that all the time back in the day. I think Johnny Unitas had a nice, crisp field.
Used to tear a lot more ACLs back in the day.
That's right. That's right. When Deacon Jones was coming around the corner, and the only thing between you and or him and the harsh concrete like dirt was your body. It's hard times.
Yeah. Back when men were men, though.
Yeah, that's right.
The greatest generation.
By the way, Deacon Jones is still, to this day, go watch some old Deacon Jones tape. It's out there. Just Google Deacon Jones and see if they have any old film of him. He is horrifying. I don't know what it was about those shoulder pads they used to have, but they were like, it was like somebody put rocks on under his shirt, and he was just big and angry, and his face, he had the most menacing face of any defensive end I'd ever seen. They invented the sack because of Deacon Jones. There you go. That's your love of Deacon Jones take for the evening. All right. Once again, we're at Crush Pizza+Tap, 38th Street here in Denver. Come on by, and we're going to be out here a lot. So come on by, get some of their pizza. It's fantastic. They have your style. They've got Chicago style, the deep dish. They've got hand-tossed, East Coast New York style pizza. They also have Sicilian pizza. It's all great. They can do it small just for you, just for one person. They can make a big pie if you want. And, of course, they've also got tons of great beers on tap. You had a couple of IPAs. And
they're great.
This $3 cans on Thursday night. Half off wings. We had some of those as well. Traditional buffalo style, also kind of smoky. They're really, really good. And then, of course, you can also get $5 off any Sicilian pizza that you get here on Thursday night. So great deals here at Crush Pizza and Tap. Thank you very much for watching, guys. And yes, we will be doing a show on Monday. So make sure you check that out. Also check out our remote this Sunday for the Broncos and the Chargers. They're going to lose that game.
Yeah, probably, but you never know.
I mean, it is the NFL, but they're going to lose that game.
This is the perfect time where Phillip Rivers is chasing Mahomes. Mahomes could lose to the Rams. This could get Rivers and the Chargers a game closer to the Chiefs. This is exactly where the Chargers shit their pants.
I am of the hope. This is really what I hope happens. I hope that the Chiefs' offense breaks every record known to man.
And then loses in the playoffs?
After having an 18-point lead. Or 20-point lead. Or 28. I've seen them lose 28-point lead. I've seen that happen. I've seen them lose an 18-point lead. I've seen them squander an entire quarter's worth of minutes on one drive. I've seen it all, really, with the Chiefs in the playoffs. I've seen them not be able to force one single punt in a game.
They have a very specific history.
Yeah.
They have an identity.
Yep. Lynn Elliott. Not Lynn Elliott. Lynn Elliott.
It's Lynn Elliott.
Lynn Elliott. I always get Lynn Elliott and Tyus Edney mixed up. I don't know why in my head. I just get those two guys.
They're both bad for me. I have nothing nice to say about Tyus Edney.
No?
No.
No? What about the ref who gave Colorado a 5th down?
The worst part is there were people in the crowd who knew, and they're like hollering just into the void.
No.
It's 5th down. It's 5th down. Like, imagine being that helpless.
Yeah.
It's like watching a car crash in slow motion. You can't help anybody.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, guys. We're out. Check out Crush Pizza and Tap. Later, y'all.